Hello, welcome back. I'm back, baby. Can you hear me? I'm back, baby. Can you hear me? Yes, you can. Oh, hello. So, I didn't stream for like a couple of days, and that's okay. Yeah, so today we're gonna talk about the mental health. It's a Monday. Yeah, it's a Monday, and we talk about mental health. I have no idea what to talk about. I have actually two videos I want to watch. Maybe three videos. Who. Uh, okay. So, why am I doing this voice? I have no idea, man. Yeah, I'm back. What did I do last couple of days? It was hectic. I went on a party. We were dancing around, and I was really sweaty. Sorry for everybody who needed to touch me. Not in any sexual way, but like just touch me. Um, what else? Yeah, I'm starting to get a hold of myself and try to get back to everything I did before. This shit. And I started doing yoga. Can you imagine? Me? Fucking biatch. But yeah, today we're gonna talk about some mental health shit. I see someone is here. If you have any suggestions for what we should talk about, please write in the chat. Oh, I should write that in the chat. If you have any suggestions about what we should talk about, right in here. Send videos and she without the love ya. It's written. Oh, look at this. Okay, so first I remember that I have one more Alain de Botton, the bald guy that we were watching a couple of weeks ago. Right, it's been weeks now. I'm getting so fucking old that every time I look back into what I was doing like a week ago, it was like, oh yeah, yesterday, and it was a week ago. So this is now like what, fourth, fifth mental health Mondays. So I'm like streaming for a month or something, which is fucking crazy, mate. And I'm not affiliated. Please, if you're new here, go follow. I forgot to do that. Oh my god, I ate something. I'm burping. Okay, so we're gonna watch first something called Alain de Botton. Fucking hell, that's loud. On emotional education. I kinda watched through it. I didn't watch everything about this shit. I saw that there is some parts that we were already talking in that previous shit that we watched from him, but there is some other ideas that I want to go through, and there is a wait, where is it? Oh yeah, and there is a guy
To say that I have.
Bruh, what the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I understand. I wish to proceed. Okay. There is a guy called Robert Sapolsky, and he's a like evolutionary biologist or something like that, but he has a lot of insights into depression and psychology and all that shit. And he's gonna talk about depression, so probably we're gonna watch that later. For now, this is it. This is IT. First, we're gonna watch Alain de Botton. Change screen. No. Magic. I like it. So yes, we're gonna watch this. Again, Mental Health Mondays are there, so you can come in and say your stuff about you and how you look at all these things that we are watching. Yes, I know that I'm like selling myself as psychologist, but bitch, I'm nothing more than just a human. So please, I wanna have conversation tonight. Be active, you stupid ass bitch. Just kidding, love you guys. But yeah, write something in the chats and whatever you find confusing or whatever. I'm trying just to do Fortnite terms for everything. Like if it's something that is kind of, I think all of those are kind of dumbed down for like people like me, so I can understand easily. But if there is a concept that is kind of like specific to psychology, I'll try to explain. If I have no idea what are they talking about, please explain to me because I want to learn. Okay, I'm rambling too much. Let's start with the first one.
Well, thank you very much for coming to a talk which has a really strange.
But I've seen this man for like a couple of times now. I cannot get over this shit. Just shave it off, man. Just be Professor X. The fuck is this?
Sounding title, emotional education. We're very used to the idea that we need to get educated in certain sorts of skills, maths, Latin, geography, physics, accountancy. But the notion that we need to be educated in our emotional functioning is very peculiar. Surely we know about our emotions, our capacities to love and to hate, to feel anxious and to feel calm, to direct our lives as we would wish. Surely we know all that stuff. We don't need an education in the pursuit of a fulfilled emotional life. But let me ask you just a question to see if we can just probe that. Who in this room is happy to be married but not in love? So married but not in love. Any of you happy to be married but not, you know, tolerating the partner? He's nice as you turn towards his... Okay, all right. But what we're sensing is that there is a broad consensus that you guys would like to be married and happy. Okay, interesting. Who here is happy to be in a job where you're earning money, but you're not fulfilled?
Bruh, neither of those two.
Okay, a few people. But broadly speaking, this is why you need an emotional education. Because you have very high expectations. It's very, very hard.
Is it too loud for you? I cannot sense. If it's too loud, please write in the chat so I can figure the audio.
To be married and happy. It's very, very hard to be in a job and fulfilled, not merely earning money. These are new expectations that we have of our lives. And yet we continue to cling to an ancient model that somehow the knack for knowing how to pull off a successful emotional life is something that we should pick up by intuition. 10 years ago, with colleagues, I started up an organization called The School of Life. I'm here to present a new book, which is simply called The School of Life, an Emotional Education. It's 10 years worth of our thinking around the business of how we might become emotional adults. you know how to become an adult. You just eat cereal and food and wait for time to pass, and you'll get there. An emotional adult is a different thing. Most of us will be pushing 300 years old before we've really got the hang of it, but it's an aspiration. You know, we're operating in a world in which religion no longer guides us as it once did. And it's within the context of a secularizing world that I and colleagues set up the School of Life. You know, when
I really think like the religion, I think I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago, but religion is so fucking like it's not the religion part, it's the traditional part, the tradition about religion. Like every week you go to fucking church, you hang out with friends, you're like, oh, I found my wife in a church and all that shit. I've heard that story a fucking million times, and I think we need that because we don't have like clear guidance. The like a couple of decades ago, let's say, it was like, oh yeah, you go to church, you're saying like prayers to whatever is needed, like, oh, my crops are bad, please God, and crops are good, please, I'm lonely, I need a woman, and woman appears. That shit is, it's I think it can be beneficial because you alleviate from like you don't burden yourself as a failure because you're always doing that, like, oh, God is the one who is putting this on me with a purpose. I don't know the purpose, I'm just a messenger of a God or like a child of a God or whatever. So yeah, we kind of got fucked by not believing in a God anymore.
Religion first went into decline in the mid-19th century in England and in other parts of Western Europe. People asked, where were people going to get the emotional and spiritual guidance that churches had once given? And there was a legitimate sense that there was going to be trouble because we are all mortal, we need consolation, we're isolated, we're lonely, we're confused, and the churches, for better and for worse, dispensed guidance in these areas. Where was that going to come from if it worked out, if one worked out that the whole story, the biblical story, was, scientifically speaking, nonsense? Well, one answer came to the fore, that culture would replace scripture. And that's why there was an extraordinary boom in the development of the humanities in the 19th century. Giant libraries were built, theatres were built, university courses in the arts were started for the very first time, and a huge push was made towards the idea that what we had previously been able to gain from religion, we would now be able to source from the plays of Shakespeare, the novels of Jane Austen, the paintings of Rembrandt or Caravaggio, that these sort of things would be able to give us what previous ages had found in religion. It's a lovely idea. Partly it's why we're here today. You know, this is in some ways part of what we're doing by gathering. But without any insult on the fantastic host of this festival and the giant and real success of this festival, broadly speaking, culture has not replaced scripture. And you know this because if you show up at the Tate Modern and you go on your knees and you say, I'm lost, I don't know how to live, I'm confused, redeem me, you will be very swiftly ushered out by some guards. This is simply not what you can do. Or if we...
It's the difference between then and now, it's like, oh, you have 10 commandments, if you do this, you are fucking legend, you're going to whatever it's heaven or whatever. And now it's like you need to have an opinion for everything, you need to build your moral like guidance by yourself. So it's kind of like you get it from the outside world. So if you're born in a particular country, you're gonna be more susceptible to like I don't know, like, oh, being naked is okay if you're in fucking Spain or whatever. If you're in Afghanistan, you try go walk naked. It's gonna be fun for you and your family, especially if you're a woman. Fuck those guys. Anyways, yeah. So it's kind of like you build your moral system, let's say, according to the culture. But we really fucked because you need to have, especially with internet and all that shit, you need to have opinion and moral like statement, let's say, for fucking every single thing you're doing. Like every single thing. Oh, you are eating this. Why are you eating this? Is that because you wanna be fat? Is that because you wanna be fucking buff or whatever? And that shit fucking kills everybody because it's like, oh yeah, this one you need to have an opinion. This one you need to have an opinion. And then we start to like compare ourselves to other people, which comparison is fucking what you my fucking god. And when you compare that to the time when God is fucking everything, you never compare yourself to the God because the God is like superior. God is a woman. Ariana Grande, yeah, yeah. No, but it's kind of like that. So we really fucked ourselves up because we are trying to get guidance from the others, but we kind of also need to build it ourselves. So we don't have like ideology that will from like you're born, God is there, you follow God's words, amen brother, go die after 80 years, 70 years, whatever. Now it's like, oh, I need to build like all my ideologies. There is fucking ton of them. It's like, oh, I'm Republican, oh, I am Democrat, oh, I am pro-life, oh, I'm pro-choice, oh, I hate women, oh, I love women, I'm a feminist, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm that, oh. And you're like, for everything you're following, you're making your border where you feel like comfortable. Bruh, I just had a stroke.
You show up at the University of Oxford and you're reading philosophy, say, the home of the largest questions. You say, I don't know where I should seek guidance for the largest questions. How can I be good? How can I make sure my life is properly led? Again, they would look at you very strangely. One could say that those who are the guardians of culture in our society have a certain coolness about them. It's as though the sort of people who they're imagined dealing with don't wake up at 3 in the morning, as many of us here do, I hope, wondering what on earth it's all about and what we're meant to be doing on this planet. There's a sort of sense that most of us know how to live. Well, the starting assumption of the School of Life is, of course, we don't know how to live, and we need guidance. Now, there is, of course, an industry devoted to guidance in this area. It's called the self-help industry. Now, being sophisticated, intelligent, and cultured people, all of you will have steered well clear of anything redolent of the term self-help. I mean, it's a horror term. It's often associated, forgive me if there are any Californians in the room, with a sort of naive West Coast utopianism. The covers are garish, the promises are overblown. There's a sort of sense of, you know, you can change your love life in 5 minutes, have the perfect sex life, made $1 million in a year, etc. In other words,
the self-help shit is fucking, I fucking love it, man. Because it's anti-self-help. It's literally anything you shouldn't do. Like, there is some books and some speakers and all that you can listen, you can find some ideology and all that. But the moment we realize, oh, I can make money out of this, that's it, man. That's fucking it. It's like, oh, now I'm a fucking motivational speaker. Look at me, I have like 3 followers, 3 viewers. Is it 3? Yeah, I have 3 viewers. I can make a book and sell it for like 3 people, and then I'll go and make like motivational speaking shit and all of that, and I'm gonna talk about some shit that I have no idea what I'm talking about, because I'm 20, well, I almost said 22, and I'm 25 in like next month or 2. But yeah, it's so fucking stupid. Like, self-help is never go to therapy. If you spend like money for books, self-help books, please stop that, go to therapy. That's find the right therapist. Listen about therapy, and then you'll learn how to self-help, because self-help it's literally in the name of that shit. It's self. You're helping yourself. You are helping yourself, which is, you can do that kind of through the book, but it's like, oh, you need to sit down, fucking write everything you think, and then like go and find the ways how to decipher that, and then after that make something out of it.
Overblown, naive, sentimental promises designed to cover up a much harder reality. Now, the starting point of the School of Life is that actually trying to tell people that life is a perfect business that can be made ideal is one of the quickest ways to depress them. The best way to cheer anyone up is to tell them life is difficult for everyone. We suffer, all of us, alone, thinking that we are massively unique.
Remember, life is short, we are all idiots. The best thing you can remember every day when you woke up. You wake up in the morning, you're like, oh yeah, we're idiots. I'm gonna die in a fucking couple of years. Yeah, the fuck with depression and all that shit. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say before I stopped. When you do self-help, it's like, oh, do these 5 things and you'll be great. When you can't do those things, not even like you should or you shouldn't, when you can't do that shit, like wake up and make your room or whatever, stop playing video games, stop watching porn, stop doing this shit, stop doing that shit. Every time you, like, the first time you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna watch porn because the book said that you shouldn't watch porn. First time you watch porn, you're like, god damn boy, I am going to hell. It's equivalent of the like religious shit. I'm going to hell, I'm a lost cause, I will never be anything in my life, which is fucking stupid. I have I was talking to some friends about this. We have like a really big problem with like being proud. Every time you do something, oh, I'm so proud of myself. Every time you like achieved something that you thought you couldn't or whatever, you're like, nah, I'm so proud of this, man. I'm fucking the proudest man. Oh, my kid just did something. Oh, I'm so proud she or he did. Right? I don't have children, but yeah, I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of my friends. I'm so proud of my mother. I'm so proud of... Nah. Stop doing that shit. Because on the other side of being proud is being disappointed. And when you're not being proud but the fuck? When you're not being proud, you're kinda automatically disappointed. Because, oh, you're not doing the stuff that you should, that you're supposed to do. So I'm gonna be disappointed. For me, the biggest thing that I changed in last like couple of months is that shit. I don't want to feel proud. I want to be grateful that I could. Oh, I'm proud that I did. Wow! Thank you for the follow. I don't know who you are, but I will see later. I'm talking now. Every time you like, I always for like my whole life, I did this one thing. I don't want to go to train. It's like, oh man, I'm so fucking tired, I'm so lazy, I cannot go. Fuck this shit, I won't go. Then I, of course, go to the training, finish the training. I come home and I'm like, bruh, I'm so proud of myself. Nah, because the next time when you actually don't go to the training, you're gonna be like, bruh, I'm so disappointed. I could have gone, I could have pushed through and all that shit. Now I'm doing totally opposite. I'm like, I'm grateful that I can go. Even though if I did or I didn't, I'm like eternally from inside, I'm grateful that I could go and do that. Because tomorrow I'll go outside, fucking car crashes into my legs, try running then, bitch. You cannot. It's that simple. If you're not going to the training, You're not gonna be, oh, I'm so disappointed. I'm like, okay, I had my miss. Tomorrow I'll go because I want to feel grateful again. I want to feel grateful that I can do that. It's, for me, it's really it's really like shifting that blame culture to like, okay, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful that I didn't go to the training. I'm grateful that I did go to the training. I'll stay in that area. For me, that's one of the, I don't know how the fuck, I don't know what I'm talking about. We were watching this bald guy, but yeah, that's kind of what's changed for me in the last couple of months.
In our sufferings, we're not. They're actually what binds us together. And being able, therefore, to say we are a broken species is the first step towards consolation and an act of friendship. All religions knew this move. I mean, think of Buddhism. The first tenet of Buddhism is life is suffering. Well, thanks very much. It goes on from there. The grimness of existence, far from an acknowledgement of that grimness being a route to ultimate despair, it's actually the birth of compassion towards ourselves and compassion towards others. Knowing that we are broken creatures, as I say, is a sort of beginning of friendship. It also makes you a nicer person. Imagine two people on a dinner date, right? They haven't met each other, they don't know each other well, and one of them starts saying, well, I'm pretty perfect, and the other one goes, I'm pretty perfect too, and my job's doing well. The other one goes, well, you know, things have been going pretty great for me too. Insufferable. A rigid, insufferable perfectionism. How much nicer it would be if this couple got together and they said, how are you crazy? I'm crazy in these ways. How about your brokenness? What's your brokenness look like? And they were able to build friendship and a sense of mutuality precisely on an acknowledgement of how much in them was not perfect. Incidentally, I should say, the goal of life is not, the goal of emotional life should never be to try and be entirely sane. There are no sane people. We've done some surveys, we've sent out scouts, no one is sane on the earth. However, the best possible kind of sanity you can aim for is what we like to call sane insanity, whereby you have what we might call a handle on what's wrong with you. There's still something wrong with you.
We were talking about this,
but you can describe
already.
it in eloquent and reassuring terms to those who you live near with and who you don't want to harm too much. That is the best that we can do, but it's a lot. And this is, in many ways, the goal of the self-help that the School of Life dispenses. We like to think quietly, pre-Brexit.
I have a thing to say. In the last couple of years, let's say, I've heard a lot of like shit from like feminists, from people around, like, oh, you're like mostly feminist. I'm gonna talk about women issues now. Man, they are not listening to us. We are being assaulted, we are being abused, we are being like whatever. I fucking agree so fucking much, because I was assaulted and I had no idea that for me it was like, yeah, I was like, nah, I don't want to do that, but I did it anyways because and no one would be like, yeah, you were assaulted, you should go to fucking court and all that shit. The thing that we are not, especially men, I don't know why, but especially men, I have a couple of friends that would sit down and listen to you, but a lot of my acquaintances that are male, they just fucking, it's 1 year in, other out. Yeah, it must be hard, fuck off. We should listen to each other more because of this shit that he is saying. We like, everybody's trying to be like, oh, I'm perfect. If I say my imperfection, you're god fucking damn it, you're crazy. I already do. Why would you do that? And also for me, when I started doing like psychology things and talking about when I went to psychotherapy and all that shit, every time, like now it's better, but in my old town, when you say, oh, I need to go to psychologist or to therapy or whatever, everybody would look at you, oh, you crazy. oh, you have a problem with addiction, with porn, with being angry, with being this or that. You're crazy. We should fucking push you from our society, your liability to our livelihoods. Even though you're fucking perfectly fine, you're still functioning person. But for us, for like our society, it's like, especially those like older generations that are kind of like rigid. It's fucking, I fucking hate it. It's like, yeah, you should be perfect. Go work and shut the fuck up and just go and drink, and after that go fight, and after that come home and be nice to your children. Uh, beat your wife like once every 3 months, and you're gonna be fine. Bruh, please stop that shit.
We're quite an English institution in the sense that one of the great exports of this country traditionally was always melancholy. And melancholy is not sadness or despair, and nor is it rage, and nor is it bitterness. It's an elegant negotiation with tragedy, and I think that that's what we might be able to aim for. We live in a cruel world, and I'll tell you how cruel it is, because one of the first questions that we face whenever we meet somebody new is, what do you do? And according to how you answer that question, people are either incredibly pleased to see you or a little bit fearful and just leave you alone by the nuts. And you know that you are not going to get the respect, the kindness, the honor that all of us crave, because you have not performed well enough in a very fast-moving, very competitive capitalist economy. And this is hardwired into us, whether we're conscious of it or not. We know that's the way it is.
Thing for this, I stopped like 4 times in 9 minutes today because of all the things that I said previously. We have a lot of like stuff to figure by ourselves. So as I said, like, oh, are you Republican, or whatever? Are you this? Are you that? Are you this? Are you that? We started everybody. So if I come to someone and I'm like, hello, my name is Dennis and I'm a feminist, instantly, fuck off. Hi, my name is Dennis and I am vegetarian. Fuck off. Hi, my name is Dennis and I am Republican. Fuck off. It's just like, fuck off. Because we have that, like, through the media, through all the shit that we watch and learn and listen to, we make a model in our head about, like, okay, what does feminist look like? Feminist, short woman with short hair, probably dyed like green hair or something like that, talking a lot of nonsense. That's my model for a feminist in my head. Every time I say something about differences between men and women, she will fucking pull out the gun and shoot me in the fucking knee or something like that. Every time someone else comes to me, it's like some random person comes to me and says like, oh, I'm a feminist, I'm literally like, oh, that's a girl with green hair and a lot of opinions, and this person, they're best friends. And for everything else, it's the same. So if it's not like, oh, are you pro-abortion or pro whatever, pro-life, pro-choice, pro-life, you're pro-life, fucking hell, you're disgusting Republican, you should go and be ashamed because you're fucking snitching like women's livelihood and their choice for choosing what they want to do and all that shit. That's so fucking flipped view of everything, especially when you have like someone who is actually kind of who went through the like mental effort to listen to both sides of any argument, like abortion, political, this or that, religion, whatever. If you go and ask people, okay, you're pro-life, why? Give me everything you have about that. I'll try to give arguments for the other side, so I can see that you have a thought out argument about why you believe in this. Because if I don't do that, I automatically I'm just taking that, snatch that person, put in the fucking drawer with all the other like pro-abortion or pro-life or pro this, pro that. And that's fucking fucked up, because not everybody's like that. Like, oh, someone can be like pro-life and also be pro-choice. It's fucking, it's for them, they're like, yeah, I wouldn't kill a person, I consider that a person, but women have had the right to choose for their body. That's okay. If I'm choosing pro-life, I wouldn't do abortion. That shit is fucking like so it's such a like nuanced thing, because you we don't have time for like, oh, I'm gonna get into argument and ask you everything from the other side of the argument, why you don't believe in that, or why do you believe in that, why do you consider yourself that way or the other. Every time you just like get a how can I call that, like etiquette, it's like fucking you're feminist, it's written on your fucking forehead, go and die, because I don't like feminists. Oh, you're nationalist, please, you're fucking disgusting person, go and die. Also for like religion and all that shit that we are killing each other for, it's always like that. It's always like, oh, you're that, fuck off. Oh, you're that, you're my friend. Oh, you're this, fuck off. Oh, you're that, you're my friend. It's like that quick, because we don't talk about like on a deeper level about all those topics.
And the opposite, sorry, I should say this. In a way, we live in a world of snobs. Now, snobbery is often associated with an old-fashioned English concern with aristocracy, with titles, dukedoms, etc., and that the snob is on the lookout for someone with a certain lineage and bloodline. No one's a snob like that anymore, or 5 people on the planet. The dominant form of snobbery nowadays is, of course, job snobbery. And snobbery is any way of judging another human being whereby you take a small and arguably not central part of them and use that to come to a rigid, non-negotiable verdict on who they are. And so for the snob, if you meet a clothes snob, for example, you'd say to them, you know, my trousers are from the Gap. That's it. You know, you could be the nicest person, most interesting person. Finish.
Bro, we said the same thing, but he's just so fucking eloquent and British.
Right? And so, you know this. Now, the opposite of a snob is your mother. Not necessarily your mother, or indeed my mother, but as well, the ideal mother. She doesn't care how you're doing, how you're performing. She cares how you are, ideally. But most people are not our mothers. Most people judge very quickly, and we feel that judgment. There's a lovely quote, frightening quote from George Orwell, who says, after 20, no one cares if you're nice or not. And that captures something rather tragic. You know, nowadays, we often hear critics saying that we live in incredibly materialistic times, that never before have people been so greedy and focused on acquiring money. I don't think that we're living in particularly materialistic times. I think we're living in times that have, for a whole variety of reasons, connected up emotional rewards to the possession of material goods. It's not ultimately the material goods that we want. It's the emotional rewards that we feel, rightly, that they're a conduit to, that we're after. But we know that we can't get to them without first passing through the gate of material success. And that, in a way, lends a certain poignancy to the way in which we pursue material success and the way in which our eagerness for material and status goods plays itself out. I mean, look, you know, to be compassionate, the next time you see somebody driving by in a Ferrari, don't think this is somebody, you know, who's very greedy. Think this is somebody with an unusually intense and very poignant need for love that they're expressing, you know, through automotive means. Many features of society nowadays are almost designed to ramp up the tension that we feel, all of us feel, and that we pick up at the School of Life. One of those things is the notion that nowadays we live in a meritocracy. Now, meritocracy is one of those words that politicians on left and right of the spectrum are really keen on. You'll hear all saying that the goal, the nirvana of their political efforts is to create a more meritocratic world. Now, let's try and unpick that word for a moment. What do people mean by meritocracy? They mean a society where those who deserve certain rewards will get them. That merit will lead to certain kinds of success. So if you're hardworking, it doesn't matter who your parents were, where you went to school, you should be able to get to the top. This sounds fantastic. I mean, who on earth would ever argue with this idea? But there's a very nasty sting in the tail that carries a big psychological burden. If you genuinely believe in a world in which those who get to the top deserve to get to the top, you'll also be creating logically, a world in which those who are at the bottom deserve to be at the bottom. In other words, a meritocratic worldview turns success, but also failure, from something that might have been a chance phenomenon to something that is determined and says a huge amount about who you are.
Bruh, I hate
this. And this is very different from all other societies. Most other societies have ascribed what happens to a person over their life, at least in part, at least half, to the intervention of non-human forces. Let's call them divine. We don't have to believe in these divine forces to know that that's what previous societies believed in. So if you look at ancient Rome, for example. So ancient Rome had a cult of the god.
The notion that we as a society are meritocratic, it's so fucking stupid. It's I can't even like imagine like having if we can make like a perfect world, meritocracy is the way to go. But we cannot make the perfect world because especially when you're in a capitalistic economy and all that shit, you won't have like imagine like playing Super Mario. You're playing from the beginning. You go every fucking level by level, because that's how you were born. You were spawned that way, and that's it. But there is some motherfuckers out there that, oh yeah, we're born in the same like level and all that shit, but they know and they have an ability to go to I shouldn't say they have an ability. They have like their surrounding is different than those who go level by level. They know that they can jump over the you know that wall that you have in Super Mario, and you just run over and just like skip like 3 levels or something like that. That's because like for someone that's how they've been born. They're born in a poor family. They cannot pay all the education. They can't go on a fucking, I don't know, excursions and all of that shit. They cannot travel the world and like meet all the people around and like network as crazy because they fucking want to survive and they need to eat something. And if you say like yeah, if they push enough, they will come there, because we have like Elon Musk, who was like nobody, he came over, he did something. Jeffrey Bezos, yay, they all started from fucking like doing something in a garage or something like that. But for every Jeff Bezos who started in fucking garage and making like a website for book selling or whatever Amazon was, there is fucking million other people who did also that, but they couldn't push through because they didn't have the environment. Like if you have a guy with IQ, which I don't believe in, but with like really high IQ in America, they will pick that guy up and be like, or like in Sweden or like developed world, whatever that means, they will pick that guy up and make him like a professor or something like that. If you have the same exact person in India, you pick that guy up and fucking put that motherfucker behind the cows so you can like do shit on your farm, because you cannot go and like achieve all the medals that you have, because that's how you work hard, you work hard, pay hard, on all that, play hard, whatever the saying is. That shit is fucking stupid to me. Like if we consider like yeah we are all born the same. You have two legs, you have two arms, you have a brain, go do something out of it. You cannot, man. I have two hands, two legs, but I also had an alcoholic father. He would come home and do terrific shit to me. Some other guy who is exactly like me had a fucking father who had like 15 million 15 millions in the bank, and he's like, yeah, for my 18th birthday I went to fucking London and like fucked bitches or something like that. That shit is from the start. You just write that shit off. It's there is no fucking way that that's how like life works.
Goddess of fortune. She was known as Fortuna, and there were estimated to have been over 8,000 shrines and statues of Fortuna in public places across Roman Italy. And
oh yeah,
the notion
this
was that if something went right for you in your life, or if you had a difficult moment coming up, you would immediately go and pray and give an offering to the goddess of fortune, because what happened in your endeavor was held to reside, at least substantially, in the hands of this goddess. This goddess was represented in an interesting way. She was depicted holding a cornucopia, which was filled with the symbols of prosperity and success and worldly glamour, so money and fruit and medals and other such things. And then in her other hand, she was depicted holding a tiller. And this was meant to represent her capacity to change, very lightly, with a light touch of her hand, the course of men and women's lives. So she was held to be fickle, have immense power over us, and distribute her favors slightly willy-nilly, as the mood took her. So for the goddess of fortune, a central figure. We don't believe in fortune anymore. We don't believe in luck anymore. You pick this up in language. You know, in medieval English, if you came across somebody who had absolutely no financial resources, the word that you would use to describe them was an unfortunate. Literally, somebody not blessed by the goddess of fortune. Unfortunate. Nowadays, particularly in the United States, what do you call such a person?
A loser.
A bit of a loser, right? And feel the punitive quality of that term loser. Loser is what you get when a society thinks it's running a race, and that race is, broadly speaking, fair.
Nah.
Now, what does it matter if this happens? Well, not believing in luck makes life a lot tougher. For example, if I said to you, look, I've published this book, and it's very, very good, but unfortunately, it's sold no copies. But the problem is, it's not my problem. It's Fortuna. The goddess of fortune has somehow not blessed my book, but it's really very good. You'd go, no, that's not true. You've done something wrong. You immediately would say, how can the guy be telling me that he has value and there is no external reward for that value? It's hardwired into us. That's what it means to live in that period of history that historians call modernity. And modernity, as an idea, as an ideology, was thought to have begun at some point in the tail end of the 19th century. And one of the first great students of the mentality of modernity was the French sociologist Émile Durkheim. And he has a fascinating role to play in this story, because Durkheim studied many of the differences between agrarian societies and industrial societies. In other words, societies that lived together in villages, where most of the money was earned through agriculture, where people believed in God, and where family, kinship, clans were very important. And he contrasted this with modern societies where people live in cities, where money is earned often in large anonymous factories, where people are not connected up with large family groupings, but are often isolated in romantic dyads. And he contrasted these and made lots of fascinating observations, but there was one which continues to stick out and in a way haunts the modern imagination, and it's this. The rate of people killing themselves in modern societies is 20 times as high as that in agrarian societies. In other words, despite all the advantages of modernity, something is a little awry. And that something was very clear to Durkheim, which is modern societies ascribe people's biography solely to them. You are a success, you are a failure. Not the gods, not your family, not where you came from, doesn't matter about any of that. It's how you're performing. And because of capitalism and the way it works and the fact that there must always be victims and inefficiencies that are weeded out, this is going to leave a certain number of people every year who cannot face what they have become in the eyes of others.
Because we have a tendency to look our success through all that material stuff, and when I say material stuff, I literally mean money, because you're making money. If you do not make money, you're fucked up, you're fucking failure, you're all that shit. If you're like working in the like on agriculture somewhere in fucking mountains, you work your ass off every single fucking day, and one day fucking hailstorm put like everything down. It's fucked up. Everything is fucked up. No vegetables, no nothing. Would you be like, oh, I'm so fucking oh fuck, oh, I'm so fucking bad because this is all my fault. I didn't do enough to sustain all that vegetables and all that shit. No, you wouldn't. You know, like, oh yeah, hailstorm, what can I do about it? You would be sad as fuck because you lost a lot of fucking work, but it's just a chance that you took. You took a chance to make fucking whatever you're making, like a lettuce, and hailstorm fucking bit it to death. And you wouldn't be like, yeah, this is my failure. I'm a failure as a man, as whatever. You would be like, okay, what can I do to prevent that, or to alleviate this kind of like pain or whatever unfortunate thing that I am facing. So that's the difference between the two. Like a lot of people from villages and from like agriculture background, they're like, yeah, I can do so much to make all of these things, but if there is a fucking drought, I can do shit. I can try to fix it. I can try to make something out of it. But if there is like something like a storm, hailstorm, drought, whatever, you can't do shit. You're like, yeah, it was unfortunate. Let me try figure out and like keep living, like move on and all that shit. That's the difference, because we like, oh, my food comes on my table only if I make money. If I don't make money, there is no food. I should kill myself. It goes like step by step like that.
A need for respect and for honor is not going to ever be realized, and the only way out is the most tragic way that humans know. Look, in a way, a lot of what we do when we try and succeed in life is buy the goodwill of other people, right? That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to buy the kindness of strangers. We're trying to ensure that when we walk in a room, people are not ashamed and embarrassed and look the other way. We're trying to hope that when somebody greets us, there will be a certain energy to their greeting. Now, here's the good and bad news, right? For those of you who are on that treadmill, and many of us are, you know, it's a very natural path, it doesn't really work. It sort of works. But actually, you know, you could be the richest person in Britain. If you're obnoxious, no one really wants to know you. They sort of pay a certain amount of respect, but not really. Ultimately, and this is a sort of strange secret, you know the thing that really turns strangers into friends? And it sounds very odd because we think it's the opposite, right? Failure, vulnerability. The display of vulnerability is actually the only route to friendship. You cannot become friends with any human being on the planet without showing a bit of yourself which they could use against you, which they could use to humiliate you, which is in some ways, in the eyes of the so-called world, embarrassing. But that's the beginning of friendship. And we almost forget about this. I think we know it in our hearts, but we forget about it. We don't live as though that's true. We live as though a shiny, glossy thing is going to get us the friendship we need. It's not, actually. It's a route. It's a one-way road to isolation. I want to put this idea to the test. Some of you know each other, but some of you don't. What I want you to do when I give you the signal and not any time before, is I want you to turn to somebody maybe that you don't know, that you haven't come here with, a stranger. And I want you to very briefly introduce yourself, shake their hand, and then I want you to do a very strange sounding thing. I want you to tell them, very briefly, something you regret, something you're ashamed of, and something you're sad about. Something you regret, something you're ashamed of, and something you're sad about. And we've got 2 minutes for this. Introduce yourself to a stranger now.
Okay, we'll skip this.
Let's come.
This exercise is hella funny because after like talking just 2 minutes, you'll find yourself like feeling closer to that person that you were talking your insecurities and all that shit that he said. And we don't do this in like everyday life because it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to come by and be like, oh, I'm a fucking failure. I have a imagine you have a fucking porn addiction. Go to someone and be like, yeah, I have a porn addiction. Like when I think about that, I kind of shrivel and I'm like, why would you do that? But you should do that because that's how you connect the like you make a bond between two people. And it's, yeah, we lack a lot of those things, like opening up to the others.
Come back. Let's come back into the room. You're all come. Stop it there. I have to stop it there. The reason why this feels good is that so many of us spend so much of the time feeling a bit weird. How many of you feel a bit weird sometimes? Weird, yeah. So maybe we've got a room of about 150 weird people, which actually is quite reassuring because not 100 people can't be weird. The statistics are against that conclusion. It's something else is going on. The problem is that we know other people only from what they choose to tell us, whereas we know ourselves from the inside. So we know all the turmoil and the anxiety and the regrets and the shame. We know all of that. But we know other people only from what they choose to tell us. And because of the way that life is set up, the sort of, hi, how are you doing? I'm great, how are you doing? I'm great, how are you doing? I'm going to kill myself, how are you doing? Fantastic. Because of that culture, we don't get to share enough of our inner lives. And we're slowly going mad for no reason at all. If ever...
Instagram, it's the best representation of this. Everybody's like, yeah, mental health is fucking really important. Being healthy is really important. Look at me and my 5 meals a day. This is what I eat in a day. This is how I train. This is my morning routine and all that shit. Bitch, I don't want to listen to that. I want to listen to how the fuck your parents fucked you up, because that's how I will know that you are actually a real person, not a fucking robot. Because you're fucking, it's I'm getting angry. We live in a society.
If you feel lonely, isolated, vulnerable, do the one thing you don't really feel like doing. Lean into the vulnerability and dare to believe that others are as troubled by this strange business we call life as you are. A great source of relief, you know, we're on the edge of London. Part of what drives us nuts in the modern world is that we live in cities, we're connected constantly by social media, we know so much about what other human beings are up to, their achievements, their triumphs, their ambitions, right? It drives us mad. All other societies other than our own had bang in the middle something mightier, holier, greater than human beings. Something non-human that was venerated and was greater than the king, that was greater than all the bishops, that was greater than all the noblemen and the aristocracy. We've done away with that The only thing at the center of our societies is other human beings and their triumphs and their great moments. No wonder we're driven slightly crazy. We need moments of relief. One of the things we need more than ever, almost without realizing how much we need it, is the spectacle of nature. Not for the business of being healthy, though that too. It's about being psychologically healthy. The great thing about nature is it doesn't care about you. It doesn't care about the leadership election and Brexit and the finances, etc. It is a non-human world that will endure far after our human show will have ended. And it relativizes us. We have such trouble finding perspective in relation to our own troubles. That's why we enjoy seeing oceans and glaciers and mighty mountains and hearing Brian Cox and looking up at the stars. We need this so badly. We need the stars more than they'll ever need us. We need dogs. Dogs are fantastic about this. The great thing about a dog is it doesn't mind how things are going at the office, right? All it wants to do is just play with you. You throw it a ball, it comes back. Little children under 4 are fantastic in this regard as well. They don't mind. They just care if you're going to be nice, right? And this is extremely important. So being somehow relativized. Okay, moving on. I want to talk about self-knowledge. This is a big thing that we talk about here. The most central command of ancient philosophy, when Socrates was said, what's the one thing that everyone needs to know of philosophy? He replied rather gnomically, know yourself. That somehow self-knowledge is at the root of being an enlightened person. Now, I might say, well, surely we know ourselves because, like, we're ourselves. So surely I know me. You know, why would you claim to know me? Because I'm me, so surely I know me. The weird thing is, it's very, very hard to achieve self-knowledge. If you compared the mind, it would be like a gigantic house that was plunged in darkness. We don't know most of the rooms. Most of the rooms are bolted shut, often by fear. And we're somewhere in an upper attic, in a cupboard, with a little torch. And that's called consciousness. And occasionally we'll sort of shine the light and try and work out what's going on. But broadly, our grasp of ourselves is incredibly fragile and tentative. Largely because, or in part because, the things that there are to know about us are so scary. They're so anxiety-inducing. And unfortunately, we've built a world where we can escape the business of introspection far better than we almost have ever been able to do. I mean, you can work out a life where you need never, ever be alone. What's wrong with our phones is not that we're gaming on them or we're having fun on them. The problem is they don't allow us enough time with our thoughts. I wonder how many of you sleep well. You know, there's been an epidemic of insomnia. Now, what is insomnia? In my view, insomnia is really the mind's revenge for all those thoughts that you, in inverted commas, forgot to have in the day. All those thoughts about your regrets and your longings and your shame and your desires and all those things that you carefully plotted not to ever confront are going to come and get you in the middle of
it's a middle of the night when you're taking a shit. If you're not bringing your phone, if you're taking a shower, that's a really good place to have those types of thoughts, because you cannot bring your phone into the shower, so you're just there with your mind and you're like, oh, remember that conversation 16 years ago? It should have gone this way. That's because you fucking never thought about it. You just went over it and that's it. And there is something that is not done with that conversation, and that's the fucked up part. When you come to those moments in your life when you like have in your mind some like situation that you've been through and you're like, nah, bitch, I'll watch YouTube or something like that. That's why like everything like internet based, like YouTube, Instagram, porn, all those things are really good thing to just like, oh yeah, I'm not thinking about what I said, what I did wrong, what's happening with my life. I'll just watch some bald guy talking about life, I guess.
of the night. So if you really want to sleep, think more. Allow more time for thought in the other hours of your life. And other addictions are possible. Addictions to news, to travel, to work. Lots of respectable sounding reasons why we need never explore ourselves. Look, most childhoods have gone a bit wrong without anyone meaning for anything bad to happen, most of us have a childhood which has been difficult. Now, why on earth am I mentioning childhood at this juncture? Some of you in the room might go, hang on a minute, he's not going to mention that guy Freud. Surely we know, isn't he over? I often get asked, isn't Freud finished? Like, wasn't he discredited? The bad news, and it really, really is bad news, and I mention this as a great fan of Freud, the bad news is the guy's not going away. The insight that he made about human emotional functioning is fundamental and will, even if lots of his theories are going to be discredited or improved upon or worked upon, the fundamental one, which is that the way that we are as adults sits upon a base formed in childhood, and that the childhood relationships, the central relationships that we had with our caregivers and parental figures, that these are the golden key to unlocking our emotional functioning. This is not going to go away anytime soon. And it's a problem. It's humiliating, frankly. You could be 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and you're asking me to believe that who I was at 5 is determining so much? I'm afraid yes. It really is. And the best way is not to try and run away or ridicule or scoff at this notion, but to accept it on the chin and do that one thing that will get us out of merely acting out our childhood patterns and our childhood dynamics, and that is understanding. The more you can understand a dynamic, the more you can pull the plug out of it and defuse it. Now what are some of the ways in which childhoods go wrong? I'm speaking with my son in the room, so block your ears, Samuel. Okay, this is one way in which childhoods go wrong. I'm borrowing heavily here from a psychoanalyst that I'm very fond of, we're very keen on at the School of Life. His name was Donald Winnicott. He was working at Paddington Green Children's Hospital in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, made amazing progress in basically turning Britain from a parent-focused parenting model towards a child-focused parenting model. In other words, that a good parent now, for the first time, sees the child as a human being rather than as an animal that needs to be watered and fed. And the notion of being attuned to a child's needs was something Winnicott believed in very much. Now, but he observed something very important and very interesting. He argued that in the early years, every child has what he called a true self. And that true self is fundamentally asocial, or at points antisocial. In other words, it's not interested in being good and polite and sweet. It may sometimes be good and polite and sweet, but not for the sake of being good and polite and sweet. It is simply an authentic being trying to figure out the world on its own terms. And so sometimes that means that baby will be happy and smiling, and sometimes baby will be furious and kicking and biting and wanting to kill and destroy and blow up the whole world. It's so furious. Okay? Now, he also observed that some caregivers cannot tolerate this. They may be too depressed, too on edge, their own childhoods might have been too difficult to allow the child that moment of primary omnipotence. And therefore, the child quite early on has to do something which is very difficult. The child has to become good earlier than it should. So suddenly overlaid on the true self too quickly is layered on what Winnicott called a false self. And a false self smiles, and a false self does really well at school, and it looks as though everything's going terrifically for the false self. But it's a false self, and beneath is a true self that has not had its say. And such is the nature of emotional development that the true self is not going to lie quietly. So a large part of the problem that we've got in the modern world is over-compliance. It may look as though we're living in a world of rebels. We're not. Psychologically, psychoanalytically, we're often living in a world of very good boys and girls who are nurturing serious mental unwellness beneath their outward competence and great capacity to please others, because good boys and girls know exactly what other people need from them. They've been doing this since early childhood. They're experts at reading what somebody walking in the office wants from them, and they know how to give them, and that's why they're going to be very successful. But it's difficult. And some of what happens, and we pick up some of this at the School of Life. I should say, by the way, the School of Life is a real institution. We're based in Bloomsbury. You can walk in there, you get psychotherapy there. It's a center. We run classes. We've got 10 branches around the world. So it's a real place you can go with your mental unwellness. And it's fundamental, I believe, that there should be places like this, many more places where we can take our mental challenges. Now, one of the things we often find is people who are having a breakdown.
Great plug.
Now, a breakdown is an interesting phenomenon. Breakdowns are terrifically inconvenient for everyone around the person having a breakdown. Somebody was a fantastic performer at the office, or they were doing really well at university, or things were going swimmingly for them, and suddenly they're lying in bed, they're unable to speak, they don't want to eat, they're furious, they're catatonic, they're mumbling incoherently, no one knows what to do. Now, the way we like to say it is that a breakdown is very often a prelude to a breakthrough. There is something trying to break through, and that something can very often be a healthy thing, right? It's the true self that has not had its say, and very inarticulately and very inconveniently, because there's the AGM coming up and there's the quarterly reports, etc. Something is bursting through. Something needs to be heard, and we need to give that a home, and we don't do it enough.
That goes back to, I have two things to say about this. First is that goes back to the thing that he was talking about a couple of minutes ago, where we tend to show ourselves to other people in a way that we are gonna be accepted. And if we have the whole society being like, okay, this is success, that's how you get successful, successful, this is how you should act and all that. If your inner like motivations and your values and all of that inner shit isn't lined up, if it's not lined up with like world's view, like the society view, you're fucked, because the whole time you need to put mask on and be like, this is all for success, this is all so I can thrive and survive. And we have a big problem also with that, with parenting, because there is a lot of emphasis on like, oh yeah, I'm a father, I provide everything you have. You have a fucking roof over your head, you had food that you eat, and all of that shit. That's all that I need to do, right? Nah, it's the literally the last thing you should care about. Of course, you need to eat, you need to have a roof over your head, but the emotional side is much more valuable for the whole family than the like, oh yeah, this, there you go, this is all the materialistic shit that I have, this is for you, my boy, go have fun with it. That's not how it works, because if you do that, you'll never hear your child, because they're going through a lot. They're learning about themselves, they're learning about society, they're going to school, and like there is a lot of different stuff happening to them, and you're like, yeah, this is money for your, like, go out and drink a beer and everything is going to be fine. That's not how it works, and that's not how it will ever work. It will never work like that, because you need someone to talk to, you need someone to come and be like, yo, mom, dad, I'm fucking scared, I'm fucking like vulnerable, I need to express my emotions to you, because I don't know how to react or behave in the situations when those emotions come up. How can I do something about it so I don't bother like first myself and then other people around me, like all the things, from like jealousy, from like first heartbreak, like everything that goes that way, that goes like bad way, that is like really hard on you. You should be able to talk to your parents. That's why we like kind of make a difference between like good parent and bad parent. It's not like, oh yeah, I had like 15 pairs of sneakers when I was younger. It was like, yeah, they teach me how to as he said, have a handle on my imperfections, have a handle on my fears, on my bad behaviors, on my like toxic emotions, toxic shit that I am going through. And for me, that's like one of the, I don't know if I have anyone from my circle of friends that had that when they were younger, that they could go and be like, yeah, I, especially, oh yeah, this is also a big fucking thing for women. I've never heard a girl being assaulted in like high school or even earlier, or like college or whatever, being assaulted and be like, tomorrow morning I'm going to my father and mother to speak about it, to talk about it, to figure out what's happening. Unless it's like really abusive, like you, like, I don't know, getting beat up and all that shit. But I, for like, I've heard so many times the same exact story. I couldn't tell nobody for being like raped, being abused, being whatever, because we fixate ourselves so much so on material stuff, like, oh yeah, I'm your caretaker, I gave you food, I gave you where to sleep, that's all I have to do. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that parents make, because they're not in touch with, as the whole thing that he's talking about is emotional education. We need that shit, like, in literally in every household. If you want to have child, please consider this first, and then think about fucking, consider if you can provide this first if you want to have children. If you cannot, don't have children. It's not all about the money. It's like, your child will remember you sitting down and talking with them about something hard that happened to them. They will remember that more than, like, as I said, 15 pairs of sneakers.
Another psychological dynamic to watch out for. Psychotherapists talk, they've got a wonderful term for this, of the way in which very many of us, especially if we don't understand ourselves too much, are guilty of what is called transference. Now, transference is an interesting term. What it means is that you are transferring from the past ways of behaving and emotions that were suited to a very difficult normally early phenomenon, and you're landing these emotions onto a part of adult life that has not actually called for it, that doesn't really warrant it. Let me give you an example from kind of office life. So let's imagine you're dealing with someone. Let's imagine you're a manager of somebody, and you've got a colleague, and you call them into your office, and you say, look, I really like the report. It's fantastic. You've done a really great job. The last couple of paragraphs, you just need to kind of tweak them because they're not quite right. It's not landing properly. And they turn around and they go, what is it about you? Why are you always trying to bring me down? Mm-hmm. Nothing that I do is ever good enough for you. Why do I not deserve to be here like everybody else? And you want to go, hang on. And quite clearly, something is coming up from a place that doesn't belong merely to that office at that point. Something is being transferred. A sense of unworthiness, a defensive structure built up probably before the age of 5 is surging forth, age 35, in the middle of a high-rise office with a legal case pending.
This type of behavior is like the most common thing in relationships. There will be like I have a million examples of this. So like, we watched already one of his videos, and he was talking about, oh yeah, I'm living with my partner, and I fucking took a shower and I just threw a towel on the ground, on the floor, and they get fucking pissed out. Like, they're like, fucking hell, why are you doing this? Most of the time it can bother them, but it will be like much more amplified if they have some kind of transferring experience. So they will be like, yeah, I remember last Friday when you were out, and that girl came to you and you started flirting or whatever. We didn't talk about that shit, and that's how I'm gonna show it to you, by yelling at you for your like messiness or whatever. and it's like there is a lot of instances where when we as people do this, we are like, yeah, you went out with your friends, and that's why I hate, like, that's why I'm mad. It's not that. It's like everything beforehand that happened, uh that is coming up just through that. And I always imagine that as a, like, imagine having a basement where you put all the bad stuff in, and you like throw a lot of bad stuff into that basement. In one moment, like, you have a key, you have a door that is like fucking metal door, that this thick door. Nothing can come out of that shit, that basement. That shit, what the fuck, of that basement. And when you're like putting stuff in, the door is getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner, and then like fucking nothing happens. Like, you have a fucking pin that can go through that door. Nothing happens. It's a fucking little pin, but that's like the last drop that will spill everything out. And that's what this this is, the transferring. You will take everything from that basement and throw it out through one single probably stupid argument. And that can be hella toxic. That can go out. Also, it can go through so many emotions. So basically, you can be like, oh, I'm jealous, oh, I'm jealous, oh, I'm jealous, and you put that down into that fucking, lock that shit into the basement. And then you switch it to, I'm gonna be angry about you not caring about me, for like, you didn't want to go out with me or something like that. I literally take all those emotions, all the jealousy, all the things that I've pushed down, I take that and I make it, now I'm angry. And I'm really, really, really angry. Even though it's not that, it's fucking all the like forgotten emotions that you've had in the past, I don't know how many uh, months or years or days or whatever. So basically, you take that, you just make it like, yeah, now it's time to be angry, and I can be angry, and I'll take everything from that basement, make it one big angry ball, and fucking throw in your partner's face. And that's like really common in a lot of relationships.
And therefore, I don't mean that the person's going to be sued, but as it were, these are a bunch of lawyers trying to figure out a sensible way forward. But somehow emotions have got in the way. And this is fascinating and poignant, and that's why we're never as adult as we like to think that we are. And those who are most adult are those who have successfully negotiated a relationship with their childhood self, and particularly the more damaged or tricky parts of their childhood selves, with all the unusual demands that will make. Okay, I want to talk about love, because relationships, it's been estimated that a person's life satisfaction is dependent up to 60% on the quality of their primary relationship with another adult. Very striking statistic. If you gave a Martian that statistic, if you said how happy humans are is dependent on the quality of their relationship, they would immediately deduce that human beings must be spending at least 60% of their time, leisure time, but also work time, figuring out the problems of relationships. It's not like that at all. If you look at the modern economy, probably less than 1% of the modern economy is devoted to trying to get relationships working well. Very peculiar statistic, given what things are like for us on the ground, as it were, as we're living our life.
Just be good.
Part of the reason for that is a movement of ideas called Romanticism, which takes hold in, well, it starts really the tail end of the 18th century.
Now, this is like exclaimer. He's gonna probably talk about the things that we already heard in that previous lecture that he gave. So if you were here a couple of weeks ago, sorry.
And we're still living in what we could call a romantic age. It starts off in the minds of poets, writers, and artists, and it's now spread everywhere. You find romanticism in pop songs, in
you cannot hear, but someone is fucking drilling. I can literally feel it in my chair. The fuck?
In adverts, in everywhere. It's permeated modern culture. And Romanticism teaches us all sorts of things about relationships that, to my mind, poisons very often our capacity to have good relationships. So we're up against a very unhelpful cultural background. Let me give you a few of the key ideas of Romanticism. So Romanticism tells us that everybody has a soulmate, and they're going to find them. It may take a bit of time, a bit of heartache, etc., but eventually you'll find a soulmate. And when you find your soulmate, you will never disagree with them on anything. They will understand everything about you, and you everything about them. And there will be perfect symmetry, and loneliness finally will come to an end. That soulmate. Where are you going to find them? You're not going to find them with your parents setting you up or any kind of rational analysis. They're going to be found by instinct. Instinct will guide you to the best person to have 50 years of happiness with. A special feeling. It's interesting, in the 19th century, heyday of romantic literature, people were always falling in love in trains. Trains are very romantic places. You see a stranger, and they're reading a book, and you're reading a book, but you're actually spying them, and they have a lovely face and poetic eyes. And before you've reached your station, you know that this is the person. So that's how you find a sensible life partner for 50 years. The other thing is, Romanticism coincides with the secularization of society. So as the hopes and dreams that we'd previously invested in gods starts to ebb, so some of that energy is redirected towards human beings that we now start to call angel. So we say, Angel, could you get some milk from the fridge? And Angel, how are we going to go out tonight, etc. But the problem is angels just don't quite measure up to those lovely things painted by Piero della Francesca. So we get mad, and Angel's not quite doing what it should. But anyway, that's an idea of Romanticism. Also, the notion is that when you meet your soulmate and when you find them angelic, you're going to live with them forever. The whole thing has to be forever. If it's real, it has to be forever till death do us part. Anything else is fake. It helped that many of the romantics died quite young. So very often they'd meet and they'd fall in love.
I'm gonna go
a little bit of cough, and then tuberculosis would set in. And after 3 beautiful, stupendous months, the lover would die. The other thing about Romanticism, very few romantics had jobs, leaving a lot of time to nurture one's feelings and one's emotions, go out into nature. Nature was a great addition and a great catalyst of love, particularly waterfalls and the sky at sunset. It was designed to foster these precious emotions. And then there's a feature, younger people in the audience, please block your ears, a feature of Romanticism which was very distinctive. A complete union of sex and love. So whereas for centuries sex had existed in one place and love in another, the Romantics fused the two. Sex becomes the highest expression of love, which sounds lovely until there's a bit of adultery, which suddenly starts to become not merely a problem, but a tragedy. So people are constantly killing themselves in 19th century fiction because of adultery. Romanticism moves adultery from being, as it were, a difficulty, which has undoubtedly always been, to being the greatest tragedy that could ever be known. You'll be telling from my tone that I don't necessarily approve of a lot of these romantic ideas. Let me pick a hole briefly in just a few of them. I mean, the notion that you're going to find your life partner by instinct is clearly mad. And I'll tell you why. Back to Freud, back to psychotherapy. The way in which we love as adults sits on top of a base formed in childhood. When we fall in love, we're not falling in love for the first time, we are re-finding love. Now, the reason why this often goes wrong is that the love that many of us knew in childhood, though there was kindness and generosity and playfulness at times, there is very often also likely to have been some more problematic dynamics. There might have been distance, there might have been depression, there might have been a certain hostility or cynicism or brittleness, whatever it may be. And what happens is that in adulthood, when we meet various people that we think might be good for us and that our friends might think are good for us, we simply don't have that special feeling. We don't have the instinct feeling. Our feelings are quite numb. You'll get this when, imagine you've got a friend and they've been trying to find the right person for ages, so you set them up on a date with somebody who's really nice and just seems really kind of sane and solvent and kind and all this of it. And then you call them up after the date and you say, so how did it go? Did you like them? And their friend goes, I don't know. And you probe, and you're like, well, how does it feel? And they go, well, and maybe a little, I don't know, not very sexy or a bit boring or something. But these are really cover words. What the friend is really trying to tell you is, I'm afraid that this person you set me up with is simply too healthy to produce in me the sort of dynamics that need to be generated if I'm to feel that I'm in love. The person is simply threatens to be too nice for me in order to generate that special feeling that I need because, of course, and one doesn't know this consciously, because at some level, love has become associated with forms of suffering that we don't even understand and can't even decode. That's why instinct is such a bad idea. We need to unpick instinct because so often it's directing us towards a recreation of a problem rather than the recreation of a solution. Other crazy things. You know, the romantics believe that if you really love somebody, you should find every part of them perfect and beautiful. This is a very, very strange idea. I mean, you know, sometimes incensed lovers will go, love me for who I am. Love me for who I really am. Why don't you love me for who I am? What a mad idea. I mean, who really could expect to be loved for who they are? No one should be loved for who they are. All of us should be educated. So this is the difference between the ancient Greeks and the Romantics. The ancient Greeks also made a great play of love, but for them, love is a classroom. Love is an arena in which two people can support each other to become the best version of themselves. It is not a forum in which to endorse everyone's faults willy-nilly. It is a classroom. Love is a classroom. And the point of love is to be able to teach and to learn. And that is what makes a so-called good lover. A good lover is a good educator, okay? And also a good pupil. This could sound very odd. I mean, imagine if you went home tonight.
This goes back to the thing that he was saying previous to this, where like we have learned to like, okay, this is love from like our parents, from I don't know what else we had around us when we were children, but it's like we learned about love and how that feeling should be when actually that feeling should be there by watching other people, by like your first love and all that shit, blah blah blah. And we have a really big problem with that because you just literally that's the basis for you've probably heard this a million times. It's like your girlfriend is the same as your mother. She's looking for someone who is exactly like her father. Oh, this you're with someone. He's he's literally the same as your father or your mother, and we have that like we talk about that shit quite frequently, and that's why we need to introduce, as he said, like literal classroom. Like, you see, I'm functioning this way because I learned this when I was a child. I learned this from my family. I learned this from my early experiences. We need to talk and to learn each other, to teach each other, not learn, to teach each other how to do how to act differently than like our parents and like their parents probably. And that's what we call like that's the traditional trauma. That's like generational trauma, not the traditional generational trauma, because we learned something, it's like this way, and we're gonna do it the same way, and our children are gonna probably do it the same way. It changes a little bit from person to person, but it's kind of the same. And when you introduce like literal like classes, like, okay, now we're gonna sit down, this is my problem that I have with you, how can we change that, how can we make that dynamic between us a little bit different, to like snatch that bad, unproductive, inefficient, like whatever you call it, behavior, and make it into something that can sustain for a lifetime. Because I suppose most of us people are looking for someone to be like till the death do us apart. That's how you I wholeheartedly agree with things that this bold motherfucker says, because it's kind of like the only way to get over your learned behavior from when you were younger. And also, you should know this is pretty common. This is a lot of I saw a lot of people doing this, which is kind of it's a trap. A lot of times when I say this, like, oh, you've learned to love this way from your parents, they will say, no, 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 I am trying to be exactly different from my parents. This is actually the same thing. Like, for me, I had the same experience. My father was an alcoholic, and he was hella jealous. Everything that we had as a problem in our family, not everything, but most of the things, were because of the jealousy coming from him. My first relationship, God bless, God the rest the soul of that relationship, was literally me trying not to be my father, even though I was jealous. I was like, yeah, I feel jealousy, but when I feel jealousy, I fucking kill that motherfucker. I'm like, nope, 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 nope. And with that motherfucker dies literally a half of me, because that's me. I have those feelings, and for me, those feelings, that's kind of trap that you are literally killing the things that you are not uh, you cannot work with those feelings. So basically, if I accepted that I am jealous, I could start working on that. How can I change that? How can I live with that? How can I make it that when I am jealous, I shouldn't do like bad things. For me, it was like, yeah, I fucking remove myself from everything. I don't make mess as my father. I just become cold motherfucker who is sitting like stoically and be like, yeah, nothing matters. I don't love nobody. I'm just here. Everything is rational. And inside of me, I'm fucking burning. I'm fucking burning with those. And this is actually the how you trap yourself, because if you have like bad experience with your childhood, with your like mother, father, or whoever, you'll be like, yeah, 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 I'm gonna literally actively try to be a different uh, to be opposite of my whatever I learned, my father, my mother. And that's where you literally, it's the same shit, just like opposite spectrum. Which is why you need to have all those conversations, all those like little things where you sit with your partner, talk about it, know about, like, okay, this is what I've picked up so far, this is what you picked up so far, what can work with what. There is it sounds like super analytic stuff, like well, yeah, we are doing analysis, we are sitting down, we are writing down stuff and all that. It sounds so fucking like removed from emotions, but actually when you do that, like literally all the good emotions come up. Like you probably had a fight or something with someone, that you resolved something with that fight, and after that for like 3 days, the biggest love of your life, you're like kissing each other, you're cuddling, you're holding their hand, you do all sorts of shit with them, uh like from that, because you remove the cap of all the emotions. You're like, everything I feel, it's out there, bad, good, everything. If I have good feelings, I will share with them, I will hug them, I will cuddle with them. If I have bad feelings, I will speak it up by the terms that we established through those conversations that we had. So it's really uh, one of the greatest ways that I think you can improve your relationship, not only like romantic relationships, but also with your friends and family and all the relationships.
And you said, look, I've been listening to this chap with a funny name, and he's been telling me that love is a classroom. And on this basis, I've drawn up a list, and I'm going to be talking to you tonight for an hour and a half about your faults. And tomorrow night, it wouldn't go anywhere because we don't believe it. Very unfortunately. Okay, so many things are badly understood. Look, the other thing that the Romantics have very unhelpfully taught us is that if you are properly in love with somebody and they are properly in love with you, they should understand you without the need to speak. That they should simply intuit. And in the early days of love, don't get me wrong, in the early days of love, there are some touching moments. You know, you just met somebody 3 weeks in, and it's just beautiful. You're by the riverbank, and you say, you know that feeling when autumn comes, and there's that smell? And they go, I know exactly what you mean. I've been there before. And they finish your sentences, and from this beautiful beginning, a nightmare is born. And the nightmare is that another person can understand the contents of your mind without using that terribly cumbersome thing called language. And this is a real pain. Incidentally, of course, little children have this. I mean, babies will literally believe that their parents know what's going on in their minds. And to some extent, good parents have a good shot at guessing what's in their minds because it's not going to be that complicated. Either they've got the light in their eyes, or they're hungry, or they're thirsty, or they need to go to bed. So we can make good guesses of this. But as an adult, as a complex machine that has special taste in interior decoration and what time to leave for the airport and how you feel about a particular friend, you're going to guess this? No. You've got to use words. Unfortunately, Romanticism has unleashed an epidemic of sulking. And what is a sulk? A sulk is essentially a pattern of behavior that is set in motion when you believe that someone who loves you should understand you. There are things you could explain, but you're going to choose not to because you're done with explaining, and they're supposed to love you, so they're supposed to know. So after they've violated your feelings at the party, let's say, by doing something slightly wrong or laughing at your expense or whatever, you're going to sit in the car and they're going to go, darling, what's wrong? And you go, nothing. And they're like, come on, like, what's wrong? Nothing, I'm fine, I'm fine. And then this will carry on, and you'll go up to the apartment and they'll go, come on, what's wrong? And you'll say nothing, and you'll bolt yourself into the bathroom and you'll shut the door, and they'll start knocking at the door and they'll go, please, just tell me what I've done wrong. And you go, because you're expecting, as a good romantic, that they will peer through the door into your soul and understand who you are, how you are lonely, and what you're like as a human being in the finest grain, as a parent might understand a child. It's not going to work.
Also, this I realized in my last relationship. I do this, of course, as everybody. But also, there is a time when you have this type of behavior and you try to make it right. You try to talk it out, you try to do all the shit that he already said that you should do, like talk, make everything like transparent, whatever, be open with one another. There is a point where you talked about most of your shit, and when nothing is done, I think that's a red flag that you cannot go over with. You cannot make it just like, yeah, I tried that and then now I don't want to talk about it because I'm a romantic. I feel like they should know what I feel, because you said like a million times when that shit happens that something like that happened, like that feeling, you have any feeling, and you said I am feeling this way and we need to work with this to work out how that can be acceptable in our relationship. And I did that a couple of times, more than a couple, like a lot of times actually, and nothing came out of it when I talked about it. And that's my biggest mistake as a part of that relationship, where I didn't realize that I need to say that and then make a real plan to, okay, this is happening, we need to change this, how are we gonna do this? And now we make steps we're gonna make them together because we're together in this relationship. It affects both of us. It's the when something like that happened, it's not just like something like that happens. It's not just your thing. Go figure out. It can be, but a lot of times in relationship, you need to express those and work together to fix those things. That's what I feel that why my last relationship ended, because it's like it's really nuanced. It's really like uh in the middle, let's say. It's like you need to do that, but also when you do it a lot, it starts to, without any without any resolve after talking about it, it starts to fucking feel like you're talking to a wall, and you're not being understand, and then you transfer that shit to other person, or to other situation, not other person. But it's kind of like really the line between those are, it's really thin. You need to establish that pretty early, so your dynamic is it can be like your dynamic should be better after you establish all those things.
There is only one way to be understood, and that is through the horribly cumbersome business of language. Okay, a few other things. I want to talk to you about confidence. One of the things that people come to us at the School of Life with is the problem of feeling that they don't dare to do something, right? They don't dare to tell somebody that they really like them, or to start a business when they really want to start a business, or to leave a business when they really want to leave a business. They're lacking in confidence. Now, what do you do? Right? This is a chronic problem. Also, by the way, they often feel like imposters. They go like, those guys over there, they're the real guys, but I'm a
Among
fake.
Us.
I'm just held together by sellotape. I'm not real. They're real, and I can never be like them. Now, if we were, bless the West Coast, if we were a Californian organization, we would tell people this. We would tell people, you're beautiful, you're strong, you're an amazing human being. Believe in yourself. Head out there. Go for it. Right? This is disastrous advice. I mean, if anyone, please, don't go down that road. Right? We tell people this. When they say, I'm terrified, I've glimpsed this out of the corner of my eye, I think I'm an idiot. I think I might be an idiot, right? And their eyes fill with tears. And we say to them something that sounds brutal, but is actually totally redemptive and compassionate. We say, we've got news for you, you are an idiot. But the good news is, we're on a planet of 7 billion idiots, right? The human race is obviously mired in idiocy from beginning to end, right? We walk into doors, we don't understand ourselves, we don't understand other people, we make catastrophic errors. From beginning to end, the whole thing is a mess, right? Now, once we accept this with a certain grace, and indeed humor, this is the birth of humor, which is one of the most redemptive emotions we can ever have, humor towards ourselves and humor towards others, right? Once we can start to accept that, of course, we're idiots, and that the fundamental nature of being human is idiocy, you'll just go up and ask the person on a date because, well, you're an idiot and it doesn't matter, they're an idiot too, and off you go. Or you might go up and ask somebody if they might be interested in starting a business with you. What does it matter? Life is short, we're all idiots. So the fundamental notion of confidence built up,
Life
not
is
through
short,
an assumption
we're
of our
all
perfection
idiots.
and our perfectibility, but precisely a confidence born of an elegant negotiation with everything that is imperfect in us. This seems enormously important. Look, I want to do one more little exercise with you, because I think it can be interesting. We do a lot of this at the School of Life, and it can be very helpful. We're often taught that the primary problem that we have is that we're selfish people, right? We're constantly being sort of lambasted. There's sort of voice at the back of our heads like, you're selfish, you're always looking out for yourself, etc. Now, this is a hunch, but I think it's a very accurate hunch. The main problem that most people have is not that they're too selfish. Most people are not anywhere near too selfish. There are a few outliers who make a lot of noise and we know all about them. Most of us, our problem is another thing. We're not selfish enough. What I mean by that is, we're not very used, because we're good boys and girls, we're not very used to putting ourselves and our needs and our complaints and our desires center stage. We haven't found that voice to do that. And part of the reason sometimes why we're ill and distressed and can't sleep and suffer from anxiety is because we haven't paid enough attention to us. We haven't been able to feel productively selfish. So what I want you to do is, again, pick a stranger, and for a minute or two, but no more, I want you to complete the following sentence and hear them out as they complete the following sentence with you. If I dared to be more selfish, I would ... Complete that sentence now. If I dared to be more selfish, I would ... Go for 2 minutes. For that exercise. And I hope you can continue those conversations of friendship. We've got a little bit of time for some questions. So if you've got a question, we've got mics as well. Do put up your hand and share anything, ask something. We've got a lovely chance for some questions. So go.
Should we listen to this?
Yeah. Anybody on that side? On that side? Yes, go for it.
Let's listen to the first question. If it's good,
thank you for a lovely talk.
We'll continue.
You began your talk by describing a scenario we're, I'm sure, very familiar with, which is you're at a party and somebody asks you, what do you do? How can I answer that without telling them what I do?
Well, I mean, that's a very good question. You might tell them what you do, but you might, I mean, really, the sincere bit is, I mean, there are various replacements. Some of them sound corny, they may not always be valid, etc. But, I mean, really what you want to do is to say something like, what are you suffering from? Where are you ailing? How are you sad? What are you scared of? I mean, that's how, don't get me wrong, there is a real importance for small talk. Small talk has a very important place. You can be talking about the weather and really you're circling your own life. The angry sky, the intermittent rain, these are parts of the internal world, not just the external world. And so it has its place in positioning people. But quite quickly, ultimately what we want is connection and an encounter with the reality of somebody else's life. Otherwise, you might as well stay home.
My take on this is, I think that a lot of like those hard conversations about who we are, what we are, how do we do this, how do we do that, blah 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 blah, all that shit. We can do that even better if we do it through humor. So one thing that I'm trying to do here on my stream, or also when I'm talking to people, is to give really stupid like metaphors for things that I want to say. For me, it's like every time you try to explain something really like maybe hard for them to hear, or hard for them. When I say them, I think like about other people that you're having conversation with. I kinda always try to break everything through humor. When I describe something, I just did like I burp. I describe something as something so obnoxious that they gonna laugh. But after that, when they go home, when they think about the shit, they will remember those metaphors, those little stupid things that you said through the conversation. Like in Serbian, I'm in English, I don't have that many words that I can describe things. I am not like eloquent enough as this motherfucker is, so I can like make it beautiful, I can make it poetic and all that shit. For me, it's like the dumbest shit. Like, make it, as I said, like Fortnite terms. Try to find the complex things that you have to explain, and try to explain them really through some stupid ass shit. The basement analogy that I just said. I have another analogy for that, is like shit in the cup. You put shit in a cup for so long, and then like this tiny piece of shit goes into that cup, all the shit comes out. The same thing. But that's how you remember stuff, especially when it's like humorous, when it's kind of like light weighted. it's not like fucking hard. You sit there and cry. That's okay also. Like, sit down, cry, have a real like deep and serious conversation. But I would say even then you can take everything through a prism of humor, which is gonna make that problem more approachable, let's say. That's one of my tries. I really try to do that every time I try to explain something, like make it a little bit funnier than it is, if it's, especially if it's something like really hard. That's for me one of the best ways to go about it, to have a like a deep conversation with someone. I have one story. I went to the party with some friends, and like literally when I met one random guy, I started our conversation by asking him, does he shave his asshole? Everybody was looking at me like, the fuck are you talking about? Why would you ask someone? Like, I literally said, hello, my name is Dennis, what you doing, how are you, do shave your asshole. And that opened the gate to, like, one hour later we were talking about relationships, we were talking about hardships from like younger age, what we've been through and all that shit. It's really like great gateway to opening up more to someone, because it looks more approachable. Also, there is a limit to that, where I got like a lot of times I've got that, oh, I thought you were stupid because you just try to like act silly and all of that, because I never got through to that deep conversation, which is also, yeah, it can be bad. But if you get to the deep conversation, people are gonna be more open to talk about it, because they know that you are open to experiences, to stuff to talk about. So yeah, humor is a great way to mitigate all those hard hitting conversations that you need to have. Yeah, should we watch more? There is 4 people here. Hello everybody. I don't know if we should watch this till the end. This is the most let's watch this. The most replied thing.
Yes, that's a very good point. And you know, I
give me a question.
Office worker, it's the good enough friend, it's the good enough lover, it's the good enough everything. Good enough is good enough. Okay, yeah.
Moving on from that point, it's the same sort of thing. Should we not tell our children to be good, to be well behaved? How do we deal that if our 4-year-old's screaming or our 6-year-old isn't saying hello to an adult? Do we just ignore that?
Yes, that's a very good point. And you know, I don't want to you know, speak in praise of the noble savage, and that there should be no rules, and boundaries are very important. Children are very reassured by a certain degree of opposition. To be a child who can do anything that they like is as madness-inducing as to be a child who can do nothing that they like. Because both of those are presenting the child either with an extreme image of its powerlessness or an extreme image of its omnipotence, both of which fry the mind. So it's very frightening for a child to not encounter a no. One of the best things you can do to a child is disappoint them, sometimes firmly, and they will be grateful to you eventually by not being mad by the fact that you said no. But look, it's a fine balance. I think Winnicott was talking particularly in the very early years, and you, as I'm sure, are a good enough parent, you'll sense when actually the child can take it. The child can take hearing that they should be a little bit more polite or pull themselves together, etc. You'll have an instinct, and trust that instinct. But no, of course, there is that balance between the true and the false self. Yeah.
Okay. That was, yeah. Well, I've heard that from someone, I don't know, that like if you cuddle with your kid too much, and if you don't cuddle at all, that kid's gonna be fucked up. So basically, it's like you need to find middle ground, which is fucking the hardest thing ever, because every time you try to do like something like that, it's pretty hard. For everything. Everything needs to be in that balanced state, which is fucking so hard to establish, to reach, to be in that in the middle ground. Yes. Okay, now we finished with this. Do you guys have any questions for this? There is people here. Do you have any questions? If you don't any questions, don't. If you don't any questions. If you do any questions, then you don't. The fuck? Yeah, if you don't have any questions, I will play. Should I play this? Are we gonna talk about depression? 2009, bruh. It's old. It's really, really old. Yeah, we should watch this. Let me see if there is anything funny, so we can watch something funny before we watch something. Nah, there isn't. Okay, we'll go and watch. Oh, I have an idea. Do you want to watch cut videos? Could. We're gonna watch this later. Wait. Okay, so we should watch this lecture. Nah, bitch, how long am I streaming for? 2 hours. Is this enough for mental health? It's enough. I won't bother you. It's 9 p.m. I'll go to lighter themes. I'll save depression for the next Monday. For the next Monday, we're gonna watch Sapolsky. And now we're gonna watch cut videos. What are your red flags? I'll probably have a lot of opinions on this. Oh fuck, I just spit.
What are your red flags?
Prejudice. You can't be racist. You can say you can't be homophobic. None of that stuff is.
Okay, so someone has all those things, but they're really attractive and they want to sleep with you. But do you still sleep with them?
That's different.
What are your red flags?
You cannot call me N-word in relationship, but you can call me N-word when we're fucking.
With dating.
Oh my God, my red flags in dating.
Ooh, there's just so many.
Red flags. Let's go.
Shirtless pics on dating apps. Fish pic.
If they don't have a headboard. I was seeing this guy
Fuck his headboard.
and he didn't have a bed frame and he slept on a blow-up mattress.
How long did you two date?
Over a year.
Bruh, I was sleeping on the floor. That's not that bad. I literally didn't have any mattresses. I was just sleeping on the floor.
They got those long acrylics. When they're out here, that's just a little too much. How can you even type with that?
If you are like a gaslighter.
Gaslight.
The editing on this video, man. When they have acrylic is this big and the next bitch is with fucking claws.
Dishonesty.
Sneaky.
Dodgy.
Like, where were you? And no answer or funny answer, and it's not true.
That sounds like you've experienced that.
A couple times.
What are your red flags? Why shouldn't someone date you?
Why shouldn't someone date me?
Yeah.
I don't have any red flags.
I don't have any. Maybe that's a red flag, that I don't think I have any red flags.
Why shouldn't someone date you?
The biggest red flag.
Because I'm married? You want a character flaw?
I can be a little insecure.
Grumpy. I'm kind of annoying sometimes.
I feel like I talk a lot and I'm
Wait. So they ask, what are your red flags? And some people are answering like what are their red flags when they see something in other people, and some people are answering well, like what's my red flags for me.
I'm very much like word vomit. I might say too
I
much.
spend a lot of money.
I ride with the motorcycle club.
It's really hard to get to know me.
I don't super love men, so if like you're not into degrading and you're a man, like it's not gonna work out. I have daddy issues.
Big mama's boy.
But pink hair and daddy issues? Oh, wow, so unexpected.
Daddy issues.
Big mama's boy.
Mama's boy.
Yeah, you probably, I don't know if you know this, but I have a thing for girls with pink hair, and like both of them that I've been in relationship with, oh man, those relationships were crazy.
Boy, love it. But then there's like a fine like Freudian line.
So you wouldn't want to date someone that wants to sleep with their mother?
yeah, that's
Bruh,
kind
what
of a
the
red flag
fuck?
for me.
If they're very disrespectful to their mom, I probably won't want to have anything to do with them.
You gotta be invested in the people that you're close to.
What are
Bruh, she's beautiful.
your red flags? What makes you not want to date someone?
Don't like people that smell. Hygiene.
If they look like they stink.
But what if they don't stink?
But if you look like it, that means your aura is funky.
Someone who sits without a toilet seat cover on a public toilet.
Chewing with your mouth open.
Mouth sound.
How would you know that someone is not sitting on the on the toilet covered toilet? Would you be the what the fuck? I don't understand.
If you don't know how to eat without beatboxing, I cannot.
If they're wearing like the eyelashes like that are literally like a visor for their face.
Bad tattoo.
White dudes that wear a lot of like anime stuff.
You can't dress.
But bruh, fuck off. I don't wear anime stuff, but I love talking about anime.
I can't be stepping and you ain't stepping, you feel me?
If they litter around me,
How does that make you feel?
I probably wouldn't date you.
Why shouldn't someone date you?
Oh, why not to date me?
I'm moody.
My humor can be a little mean.
I used to laugh inappropriately.
I definitely overthink things.
I'm not a super physical person. Like I have very small windows of when like I actually want someone to be like cuddling with me.
I'm like very argumentative.
I don't get angry often, but when I do, it can be a bit much.
If you cross me the wrong way, if I want to come after you, it'll be with a vengeance.
What's the worst thing you've done to an ex or partner?
I keyed his car.
I may have burned my ex's clothes one time.
I hacked.
The fuck? How do you put yourself in the mindset like, yeah, I'm so fucking angry, I'm gonna key his car. Oh, I'm so fucking angry, I'm gonna burn his clothes. Bitch, just fucking write that bitch off and be like, go fuck yourself. The fuck? That's so stupid.
All of his social media account and found out that he cheated on me. You just got crushed and you can't undo what you saw, so.
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories like this where girls are gonna enter some way or another into a like Instagram or whatever and find something there and be like, oh no, I'm gonna fucking kill him. Which is like, you did that to yourself. They're a piece of shit, but you just make it harder for yourself.
What are your red flags?
Right now, probably kids.
People get weirded out when you have children. I'm not trying to have you be my daughter's mother. She already has a mother. I'm just trying to meet you for myself.
What are your red flags?
Well, they have to be single. I get a lot of proposals from married people.
If we're together, we're exclusively together. Like, there's no, for your birthday, let's have a threesome.
Monogamy is a red flag for me.
My red flags are definitely not using my pronouns.
A political view. That's against mine.
Oh yeah, you hate Democrats and liberals, right?
No. No.
Fucking snowflakes, right?
Wait, what?
That's okay, I get it.
No, the other way.
Fascism.
Fascist.
Republican. Put it that way.
You wouldn't date a Republican?
I would not date somebody who parrots the current talking points of that particular movement.
Conservative Republican. Conservative, that's kind of immediate now.
What if they're really good looking? Does that change anything?
No.
They don't want to support my rights to being a human, so they can go fuck themselves, literally.
If you're...
This is what I was talking about. Like, how the fuck do you know their view if you never spoke to them? You heard just they're Republican and you're just like writing them off. Listen to them and then fuck them off.
You're a non-black person and you think it's okay to say the N-word, I'm sorry, it's not gonna work. We have different beliefs and values.
Well, I have a thing about Tom Petty. If they looked like Tom Petty, I might be a little bit seduced by that.
Would you still sleep with them?
That's different. That's different. A continual relationship is completely different. You know what I'm saying? That might just be for the ancestors.
What are your red flags?
When somebody doesn't treat like their waitstaff.
They treat a waiter bad.
If they're clingy.
If a person overly shares right away, someone that doesn't know who they are.
Too femmy. I can't stand too femmy.
People who don't read.
Always on their phone 24/7.
If you cannot text back and you take 5 hours, 10 hours, don't text me.
Drugs. 11 months ago, I quit drinking. So for me, it's struggling sometimes with sobriety has been really, really a struggle, a real struggle. And it makes it a lot easier that my partner doesn't drink.
I think I'd probably be really turned off if a guy couldn't smoke as much as me, which is probably bad.
Somebody that I dated walked into a bonfire, somehow didn't catch on fire, and then walked out. Yeah, that was a severely big red flag.
I'm a little too chill for some people, you know? They're like, the building's on fire, and I'm like, yeah, we'll buy a new one.
I think I don't know how to take care of myself.
I've been hurt and it makes me want to commit less.
Because I have mental illnesses, you know, that's a red flag for some people.
Red flags. Somebody with more mental health issues than me. I'm ADHD, so I'm neurodivergent, so there are certain things that I can't be around.
My red flags right now are anybody's attracted to me because I'm a mess.
What are your red flags?
Someone who like doesn't have drive.
Just sitting around.
Generally, their first questions are like your worth, rather than who you are as a person.
If they're kicking it with a lot of my friends already.
Like, because they probably slept with your friends?
Yeah, something like that. She's a lady of the night.
I think one of them definitely be lashing out in anger.
Somebody who isn't kind to animals?
I'm vegan, so I guess like eating meat.
Would you not date a meat eater?
I'm engaged to a meat eater, but it was a red flag. I just ignored it.
If you're a picky eater, you can fuck the fuck off. Like, I'm a great cook and I don't have time to be like making like, steak and potatoes every night for, you know, boring people.
If they seem to be too full of themselves.
You know, the know-it-all is really hard for me.
If they take things too seriously.
Not sarcastic enough.
Anyone that's not in tune with nature.
When someone's like, I hate
that's a good
drama.
one.
Anyone who says they hate drama brings the drama. It's a rule I swear by.
Why should someone not date you?
Why should someone not date me?
Very
Oh, that's a good one. I've actually,
great smile. I like this.
fun fact, I've never dated anyone.
I've never dated anyone before.
Never been in.
I said I like this. Like she is. Oh my fucking god! Cancel me, please. I deserve it. Fucking hell! What's wrong with me? I like this. I like what I'm seeing here. Can I buy? How much? How much for that? You there, not male person. How much? Bruh, I'm stupid.
In a relationship ever. So I think that can maybe deter people because they're like, she's either crazy or like really bad in bed or something. I don't know, but
Which one is it?
maybe I'm crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. You might be crazy.
Because she fucked like crazy. God damn. I like cut videos. Give me something more. We'll watch a couple more and then I don't know. Then we're gonna go. Ooh, blindfolded. People go speed dating.
So when you're dating, what age group do you normally kind of stick to?
I usually go older, so my age range is usually like 22 to 32 kind of thing.
Welcome to the button.
That's
the
not
speed
older,
dating show.
bitch.
When the button lights up red, either player may press it
You
and
die.
swap out their date for a new person.
Get out of here.
If 2 people can last on a date for 10 minutes, they win an all expenses paid second date.
This is the button. Okay, take your hand. This is the chair. There you go.
Take my whole life.
Hello.
Hi.
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 All right, I'm Milton.
I'm Mia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Milton has a type. I have here thick, sassy, sense of humor.
Is there anything else you want to add to that checklist?
That's about it. I mean,
So what do you do for work?
I'm a school bus driver.
Yeah.
Damn, that was quick.
Take your blindfolds off and look at each other.
Hi.
Ask her, why did you reject me?
Why did you?
I just wasn't feeling the spark. Didn't feel like conversation was flowing. That's all.
Oh, the spark.
Nice to meet you, though. Yeah, absolutely. Got the
Do you
M
regret
necklace.
it now that you see him?
He's very handsome, but stay where I stand with. Just didn't feel the flow.
Milton's a total babe.
Absolutely.
I got the chair.
Good job. Good job.
Pulling the chair out. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Craig. I have my hand out for. No?
Oh, there it is.
There you go.
Nice to meet you.
What do you like to do for fun?
I am really open to trying anything new. I'm pretty new to the area. Right now, it's mostly been like hitting as many different breweries to try as I can because I think that's really cool.
Okay.
Craig owns a bar.
Oh, love that, Craig.
I do. A lot of my time is spent around like breweries and wineries and alcohol and stuff like that.
Completely get that. I just started a new job recently and I work in the beer industry now, so it's been a lot of stopping at bars and things like that. So that's become a workplace for me.
Wait, and what kind of job do you have in the beer industry?
So I work in marketing, so I'm a brand manager.
So when you're dating, what age group do you normally kind of stick to?
I usually go older, so my age range is usually like 22 to 32 kind of thing. I'm at the bottom of that.
I'm 39.
I like how he was so fucking happy in one moment and in the other all the dreams have fallen.
9.
Okay.
And this concept where you're blindfolded, it's fucking great because you can do whatever you want with your body. So he was like, yay, and she didn't know that.
And then to be totally transparent, I have 2 kids and I'm divorced.
Okay.
So like throwing that all on the table.
Appreciate that.
Okay, yeah.
I am so sorry.
But you're a father.
Actually, I've tried going out with someone with kids before, and it just really isn't right for me right now.
Totally get it. Yeah, understand. It's like it's a lot.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, though.
Pleasure. Good luck tonight.
Thank you. Damn. Really thought I had it the bar owner.
Oh, damn! I was waiting for this. I always wanted to see like backstage of those events because it's fucking hella hilarious, and especially with like how many 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Hit all the guys that. Yeah, this fucking fucking great. I love it.
Rotate next.
Hi.
Hi.
Can I get a hug?
Rotate next.
There we go. Okay.
This is great move. This is great move because you get to feel if they're how I almost said something so fucking bad. You can feel their constitution, let's say. And I fucking love this. This is great move from this guy. He's gonna pass as soon as they sit down. Look at this.
Hi, I'm Lovely to meet you. Nice to meet you.
How are we doing?
You know, I'm great.
Answer
Thanks for
me,
getting me
please.
off my feet, move around a little bit.
Yeah. You know, I'm just kind of having a good time today. It's nice. What do you find yourself doing in your leisure time?
I love watching television and film. I studied film for a really long time.
Okay.
So
Guilty pleasure.
I always say like my #1 guilty pleasure show is Riverdale. I will never, never recommend anyone watch the show.
Okay. Sorry.
That was aggressive slam. No worries.
I am so sorry. You're lovely.
Thank you.
But yes,
Was it the Riverdale?
I'm gonna be very candid with you. We have a little bit of a bromance back there, and so I kind of did it for the boys.
Report back to the.
Fucking hell, he's so fucking stupid. Bruh, why would you say that? Now she's gonna go back and she's gonna say to the other girls, like, oh, he just fucking canceled me because they told him. And now the next person that is gonna sit down the girl, she's gonna immediately be like, button, that's it.
The boys that you got me down, okay? Have a good night.
Oh no, I just heard a big gasp. From the gal
Stupid.
room. I think I'm not
Stupid,
blowing up
ain't
the
it?
one. Hi, I'm Nathan.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. I'm Sam, Samantha.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Bro, what the fuck is this here? She's like, she's from Demon Slayer or something like that. The fuck is this?
So in terms of dating, what is something that is like an automatic deal breaker?
I can be really chatty sometimes, and I've had a lot in my past where people will like, I'll talk about something and then they'll just cut me off. I need someone who will listen to me.
What is?
She got great voice. It's kind of like anime.
Something that you watch by yourself that's a guilty pleasure that you don't tell anybody.
I mean, I watch a lot of anime. I watch
Me too.
a lot of Asian shows like Korean dramas.
What is
no
your type?
shit.
I'm definitely very into Asian men. It's not like a deal breaker or anything.
What race do you think I am?
I have no idea. I don't want to make assumptions.
Bruh, who would know that she's looking like a girl from Eurovision. Who the fuck knows who Netta is? Bruh, stop it. Rob, stop doing that.
You want to take a guess?
I would say like maybe white to Asian, maybe.
I am Asian, actually.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we hug?
Sure.
Okay. Hi. How are you?
Good. You're needing a hug.
He did it again, and I know why.
Thank you.
Red. Right up. Right.
Bye, Nathan.
Right. Yeah. Like they. He's so stupid. I cannot. It's so obvious what he's doing.
We get along on a lot of different topics, but I felt that it was something where I could become a really good friend with you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just kind of a gut feeling for me.
No, that's totally valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't see anything because I don't have my glasses on.
Bye, Sam.
Goodbye.
Bye.
I feel so bad.
And then right afterwards we hugged. He sat down, busted me right away.
Nah,
Hey, how
he's
are you?
fucked.
I'm good. How are you?
Good. My name's Nathan. What's your name?
I'm Amy.
What is your drink of
Amy
choice?
is wifey material.
What makes someone wifey material?
Bruh,
Just really like to take care of my man.
material.
I like to spoil him. I mean, I obviously like expect the same energy back, but I can cook really well.
Oh, what do you love to cook?
Steak dinner with like shrimp and like
Oh, wow. Surf and turf? Wow, that is very fancy.
mashed potatoes.
Nathan models.
Oh, are you your model?
Oh, I don't. Where did you guys get that information? What?
How tall are you?
How tall do you think I am?
I'm thinking like 5'11".
Do you want to give me a hug and see how tall I am?
Not right now.
Get fucked, bitch. Get fucking wrecked. Ah, I'm so glad. I'm so glad she refused. I'm so fucking glad. Get fucked.
Why did you press the button?
It's just like wasn't the vibe.
You know, I can respect that.
You have really nice hair.
Oh, thank you. You as well.
It was nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you as well.
Okay, bye.
She literally buzzed him only because what he did to previous girls. And I respect that.
Sorry, I'm trying to literally find the chair right now.
No, that was me too. Don't worry.
Okay. Voice sounds soothing. I like it.
Oh, thank you. How old are you?
I am 26. Probably when you look at me though, you're probably like, no, I'm younger than that.
Younger? Really?
Probably.
Okay. I'm 21.
Okay.
Amy is dating to marry. Are you ready to get married, Donovan?
I don't mind marriage. I really don't. It depends how like certain time what it
Of
does
course,
and everything. So
yeah.
yeah, where it leads.
Yeah, I'm obviously not dating like to like marry right away.
Amy wants 3 kids.
3 is a little too much. I got it. 2 would be fine. 3 is like.
Is it like you don't make enough?
No, it's not that. I don't mind it. My mom had 1 out of 6. I'm the oldest out of the 6. It's like hectic enough how my mom is.
We're gonna bring in his next date.
It's nice meeting you,
Nice
though.
to meet you too.
My name's Ria.
Okay, my name's Donovan. What is your type?
Look-wise, my type has been all over the board. I definitely love people who are like athletic and into the gym. I love like manly men who can like, you know, let me feel more relaxed and like.
So protective.
That's just my type.
Yeah, I do work out and everything, so it's just part of my regimen. I do
Let
everything.
her feel your arms.
Bruh, what? Let her feel. Bruh, no. This is so cringe.
I heard my
Okay,
arms out.
where are
My
your
arms out.
arms? Okay. Okay, you seem strong. What do you like to work out in the gym?
So honestly, I work out every particular muscle twice a week. I would say my favorite one I like to do is chest.
Where is it?
It's right there.
Can I feel your face?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. I like the buzz cut.
Oh, thanks.
Bruh, she literally did the things that I did to a dog. Like, do this. Look at her.
Go
Look
ahead.
at here.
I like the buzz cut.
Oh, thanks.
Are
Okay.
you two connecting?
I mean, she's already had my arms and my chest.
I've already like, I feel like I basically already know you.
Blindfolds off in 3, 2,
Ooh.
1.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
You're not what I expected you to
Really?
be, honestly. Yeah.
Are you two
Damn.
gonna go on a second date?
I'm so sorry.
Bruh. She was vibing with him so fucking much. And then she looked at him. Oh, this is bad.
Why did you reject him?
This is bad. This is really
I just want
bad.
to see like what other vibes are there, just
Okay.
for the experience.
All right.
Sorry, Donovan. Thank you, Donovan.
It's okay.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, Jason
Are you
Derulo.
wearing a face mask over your eyes?
Am I?
Are you not?
I think this is what they gave me. Okay. Wait, how do I look? Do I look?
Whatever works, honestly.
Do you like the smell of each other? Give each other a little whiff.
Bruh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, you smell like body wash.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice perfume. What is that lotion?
It's a bum bum cream.
Bum bum cream.
Bum
For
bum?
your bum.
You gotta moisturize some cheeks, you know.
Yeah.
Your voice,
Yeah.
it's really calm
Thank you.
and it's soft.
What are you doing after this?
I don't know. What about you? You trying to find out?
The fuck?
Are you ready to see each other?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. Oh my god.
Hello.
You're cute.
Oh, stop. You're hella pretty. I like the eyeliner with the blue.
Thank you.
You have a really nice smile. Okay.
Are you gonna
They gonna fuck. They're gonna be. Wait, oh. This is some sexual healing after this.
commit to a second date?
I feel like we could. Unless I'm wrong.
No, I would like that.
You're pretty comfortable so far.
Yeah.
And you're not making me nervous.
You know, whenever people say like, oh, I got butterflies, I feel like that's a sign that your body's rejecting them. And if you feel like comfortable with the person, I feel like that's like,
That's what I look for in a
that's
person.
more comfortable.
Yeah.
So,
What's up, bud? How you doing?
second date?
The lady's comfortable with it. I am.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
Congratulations, you've won the button.
What?
Nice to actually meet you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Okay.
I'm glad I skipped the person before this.
I'm glad I was right next in line. Like shit.
All right, get out of here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Button. Can I just? Are you gonna go somewhere right now? Are you gonna... I'm not too. I got the whole day cleared. Yeah.
Bruh, they gonna fuck. That's for sure, for sure. They're gonna make babies. They're gonna be no. Let me see. There is one girl that appears in those videos. She's so fucking cute because she has a crazy eyes, and I'm into that shit. Bruh, is there anything? What should I watch next? Give me something. Give me something good. Straight man rank other man's attractiveness. Bruh, we're gonna watch that.
Yo, damn.
For sure, this is gonna be just bro talk. They're gonna be like bros being bros.
Oh, saucy. Damn.
Okay, and after this, I'm gonna finish this because it's 2.5 hours long. After this, we are finished, and I'm gonna go play Smite because I like it. Because I'm addicted.
Now do it one more time, but give me like a little dance move at the end.
Bros being bros.
Do you find men attractive?
Yeah. Although I'm straight, I'll look at a guy and go, wow, that guy's a great looking guy.
What makes a man attractive? Is it all purely physical?
Definitely not physical. It's all personality, fashion-wise.
I know confidence is always a big one, but even if you're not the most confident guy, I think you can make up for it in other ways, like kindness, thoughtfulness.
Some of the...
Bruh, what the fuck? Don't... shut the fuck up. No one's gonna look at like, oh yeah, you're kind, you're so attractive because you're kind. That's so stupid. Like, being attractive as a man is like, probably, are you funny? Are you dressing up nicely if you're like clean cut and all that shit? And that's about it. If you know how to dance, that's also a great thing to know. Like, when you go out and you start dancing, even though you're not the best looking guy, you're gonna catch some eyes, like in clubs and shit.
The classic, the chisel.
But being funny is like always, for me at least, #1 thing. If you're the funniest guy in the room, you're gonna probably catch the most eyes.
Old kind of look, some abs. You know, they used to be there, but they're hidden away behind the COVID baby here. You know.
What types of questions are you gonna ask today?
I was planning on starting off with asking some questions that are more related to their appearance, their style, their hygiene.
If like in a different universe, we're on a date, like what would you take me? What's your dance move? You know, I like to go dancing, so it's like stuff like that.
So I'm gonna give you these numbers. There's 6 men. So whoever you give a 1 to, that's who you think is most attractive in the room. And then whoever you give a 6 to, that's who you think is least attractive.
Wow. That's brutal.
Or bring the line in.
All right.
He's the whitest dude ever.
Good man. What's up? What's up?
Well, nice to meet you.
Hey guys.
Okay, this is the whitest dude.
What's up? How you doing?
You think this is gonna be easy?
Oh, hey, it seems easy. Well, not really easy. Not really easy.
Nice to meet you. What's your name?
Jay Fitty.
Jay Fitty?
Yeah. What's your
Jean-Luc,
name?
nice to meet you.
Jean-Luc?
Yep. What would you say?
You see, he's not gonna be anything like high because I think he is probably like the quirky guy that has a lot of like, he's funny and he knows how to, he's charming and all that shit, but the way he's dressing and he's carrying himself is probably be like a little bit putting off like those high numbers in attractiveness.
Say is your best quality?
So best physical quality is probably my hair. I feel like that just stands out. Best quality on the inside would probably just be like my kindness.
So, marijuana?
Oh yeah, I got the weed socks on.
Hey, if you were smoking with someone, like, where would you take them?
I mean, somewhere by the water probably.
On a beach, just laying down?
Yeah, we can chill, get a little pop-up tent or something.
How do you feel when you walk into a room and you don't know a ton of people?
I feel like I'm a pretty approachable dude, so like people gravitate towards me.
Yeah?
Whenever I go out to parties, I leave with new friends.
All right, we're going out dancing. Break out your first dance move.
First dance move?
Yeah, break it out, break it out.
I have to like bring them in.
Oh, shit!
I feel like you're at a disadvantage because you're going first.
No, that's totally fine with me.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Wait, why a 4?
Because I got a long way to go. I haven't gotten to know all the other guys yet.
Fuck with your vibe, you smoke, you chillin'. I'm gonna give you a 4.
2, just because I don't know who else I'm talking to, man.
I appreciate it, Craig. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
That's so weird. So weird.
You up next?
How you doing?
Anime.
I'm good. How are you?
My name's Miles.
Miles, John Luke.
I realized in like today with anime being so prevalent, it's like everybody's watching anime. A lot of guys are like their whole personality is based on anime probably, which is fucking crazy. Not me.
Luke, nice to meet you. You into anime?
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Ask him what character is he most attracted to.
Hey, that was my next question, actually. What anime you watch?
I watch a lot. I've been watching anime since I was a kid.
That's great. Who are you attracted to?
If y'all watch Naruto, I gotta give it to the homegirl Hinata, bro. Okay.
That's wifey material, but bruh, go with something crazier.
Material, all right? When you connect with friends, do you think of yourself as an introvert or an extrovert?
If I'm around the right people,
Yeah.
it brings out the extrovert within me. But if I'm just kind of like on my own, like everybody's at work, I'd probably be an introvert, just stay at home.
I'm gonna give you this one right here.
Go with Nooch. I'm gonna give you a 3 right now. A 3 right now.
That's actually a lot higher than what I thought it was gonna be. I'll wear this proudly. I appreciate you, man.
Hey, go ahead. Hey, got you, bro. There we go. Hey, what's your name?
Chris.
Chris. John Luke, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Like your style? I like
Thank
the
you.
jacket.
Tell me about yourself.
I do comedy, so I travel around the country.
The most attractive guy. If you do comedy, you're probably really charming. You have great like timing for jokes and all that shit. He's banking.
To do that.
So I'm fascinated by your facial structure.
Thank you.
So you're a great-looking guy. But stop it. I spent some time overseas. I spent some time working in Africa, in Somalia. The Somali people and Eastern African people are just beautiful. Is there some heritage there?
No,
or-
I ain't Somalian. I'm Afro-Latino. I'm half Dominican, half Puerto Rican.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Do you speak another language?
No.
No? All right.
If you saw me go up to your girl and try to say a little something, what would you do?
I'd be nervous, for sure. You're a good-looking dude. You got a sense of style. You seem super confident. I'd definitely be like, damn, like, I gotta go get her out of here.
This is way harder than it looks, guys. Let me just tell you something. I'm gonna give you number 3.
I'm gonna give you the one.
Thank you.
I like comedy if we can vibe with each other and laugh, and that's like up there. I like your fit too, your shoes and all that stuff. I'm gonna give you a 5, man.
1 is supposed to be your highest ranking.
Oh shit. Okay, yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were negging the fuck out of me.
I was gonna rearrange them anyway, so this is not finalized, so it's not finalized.
Next. Hi.
Jordan.
You good? Jordan?
Yeah.
John Luke, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
What do you like to do for fun?
I love to get out in nature. Basically, if it's outdoors, I'm into it.
So how would you rate yourself?
I would definitely say that, I'm like a good 7. Physically, I do have, like some body dysmorphia, stuff like that. But I know I have a great personality. And I think that personality makes up for a lot of, what someone describes as, attractive.
Ask him to give you his best model pose.
Get on the catwalk and cha-cha. Oh, damn. Oh, saucy. Damn. Now do it one more time, but give me like a little dance move at the end. Right. Yeah, I gotta break that. Hey, you want that one? You want that one?
Do you see? I'm white, my dude.
I'm gonna dance like that 70s white girl.
I'm not the most outdoorsy guy myself.
That's fair.
I'm gonna give you the 5.
We had a good conversation. All right.
The body type of Victoria's Secret. Okay, that was mean. Sorry.
You're getting a 1. Here you go.
Yes.
Boom. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
Like your shoes?
Thank you. I love your whole style. I walked in, I was like, it's a good looking dude.
Appreciate it, man.
What makes a man attractive to you?
Honestly, I think for me, it's energy, confidence.
What would you say is your biggest goal in life right now?
I feel like I'm pretty successful in life, and I want to continue to trend towards success just so...
This guy is looking like morning routines on YouTube and shit like that.
I can have a good life and travel and
He
take
is
care
the
of
secret.
people around me.
Fuck
Ask
yeah.
Greg, do you think I look kissable?
Greg, do you think I look kissable?
Well, I would not because I'm straight.
Okay, fair.
But if I was not, absolutely. I think you're a great looking guy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Likewise.
You think I look kissable?
Greg,
Yeah.
Greg looks kissable. Yeah, absolutely.
Positive. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I'm gonna give you the 2.
I fucked up all the 1s, bro. Man, I fucked it up. I'm gonna give you a 2, man. I'm gonna give you a 2. Here we go.
Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate it.
Naveed, right?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19? Okay.
Bruh, this dude is from fucking... What's the show? Bruh. I forgot the show. But he looks like he's from video game or something like that.
Like the chain?
Thank you. I like your style.
So what do you think makes you attractive?
It's very hard to make me uncomfortable in any sort of conversation or anything like that. So really, honestly, I'm very open to talking about really anything with anyone.
If we were on a date, where would you take me?
Okay, so for starters, we'd go down to like downtown Seattle near the water, the Ferris wheel. Then I'd probably just take you out to eat, maybe like, Buffalo Wild Wings, because who doesn't...
Honestly, wings are fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Wings are
They
fire. Are we all going out
Ideal.
for this?
Ideal.
Well, unfortunately,
All
I
good.
have a 5 left.
Yeah, all good. Thank you. Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
It's all good. It's all good. I appreciate it. It's nice to meet you,
man.
Greg.
You too, bro.
This is what it is right now.
Yeah,
All
I mean,
right,
I'll take it. It was the last one.
This is last. Hey, we're gonna switch it up. All right, Quinn.
Thank you.
Switch it,
Appreciate
bro.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a chance to rank it properly.
Properly,
if you
yeah.
want to.
So one's gonna go right here. This one right now. Hey, I'm just switching it. I'm just switching it. There you go. Let's do this. Here you go.
All right, there we go there. There we go there.
Oh, wait, okay.
You think, man.
Give that to you. This is just brutal. Fucking. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Damn.
White-
This is still
white
gonna be
dude.
hard. Honestly, not. I'm gonna stick to what I did. I'll stick to what I did.
Okay, just go ahead and take a look. This is
I
your
just
ranking.
blacked out. So. That wasn't me.
I love you guys. I love all of you. I would date you all. Let's all go out right now. You know.
All right, man. All right.
Hey, welcome back. Hey, you gave me a 3. Why is that?
You seem like the chill vibe, and I like that. Like, you be able to chill, be able to go somewhere, do all that stuff. Maybe a 3 because, like, me like to stay in. Like, I like to stay in sometimes, but, I like to get my dance on a lot of times, go somewhere else, and so I gave you a 3. Just gave you a neutral.
You gave me a 5. I was a 2.
Oh yeah. Well, as far as attractiveness, for me. God, I'm a freaking snob. I guess I'm a snob, bro.
No, it's okay,
I'm
man.
just saying, man.
I got a question though.
Yeah.
Did you not change because you were scared of judging people further, or did you genuinely feel like you
I genuinely do feel like it. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where I'm trying to like feel more put together and like just clean up my look, which is why the people that I put at 1 and 2, I feel like have like the cleanest cuts. While I don't think your outfit is like bad, I think, obviously there's some room for improvement. But personality-wise, like, you're a cool-ass dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
How's it going? I was a 1, and you bumped me down to a 2, which I'm not upset about.
Honestly, it was a vibe with Naveed.
No, absolutely.
The number 1. But that was all. I mean, I think that you're a really attractive guy and that you carry yourself well.
Yeah, I like your vibe as well. You're very kind and soft-spoken, but in a good way.
Do you feel that people that are soft-spoken is unattractive to you?
Sometimes. Some people aren't gonna like the soft-spoken dude, but if they don't like soft-spoken dudes, then that means they're not the person for you. All right?
I appreciate that, man.
Thank you.
No problem.
Good to see you again. It's okay. You're doing fine.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
That's why I love you. Give him a higher number. Wait,
So you gave me a 1.
Yeah, you just seem smooth, confident. Your haircut is, lines are clean. You look like you can never be caught lacking. You know? Like I can't see you doing
No
something
amount of words can
embarrassing.
effectively describe how wrong you are. So why did you humble me and drop me to 4?
I don't know, man. Maybe just because I'm taller. I don't know. I have no idea. You're asking for blood. I'm like, brother.
You don't want to wear me like a bidet? Like, you don't want to... I'll climb on you like Ratatouille.
Oh, shit. Oh, man.
Would you rank yourself 1?
To be honest, no.
That's why humor is the most important thing for attractiveness. Right there, he just put himself way, way up there.
I was actually genuinely surprised that you gave me a 1.
My theory is that you gave him a 1 because he looks closest to you. I feel like y'all look alike.
Oh shit! I just like, Chris, good to meet you, homie. Let's go.
All right.
Oh,
We're from 5 to 6
All right,
out here.
I'm sorry.
Yo, you're good.
I'm so sorry.
So you gave me a 6.
Damn, I gotta say that way.
Guys being
You know,
guys.
it comes down to, like, I guess they asked me about what I find attractive.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I can have an amazing conversation with you, and I love that. I feel, you know, like you've got this fantastic energy, brother,
pleasure.
man.
You have
I think
something
you're
to do
awesome, man. Thank you.
So I give you a 2 because you have the second best outfit in the room, in my opinion. You seem like you're at a point in your life where you're very comfortable with who you are and you kind of know what you need. I aspire to be more like you one day, so yeah.
No, I think you're amazing. I think what I actually really like about you is the way you speak seems very intentional, which I also find very attractive.
Save it for when y'all go out for drinks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
So I love the humble, the humility,
Exactly.
the comfort in the style that you bring. You have a really young vibe, but you also have kind of an old soul.
I've gotten that before. Actually.
Yeah?
Those exact words.
Yeah, so I think that's very attractive.
He's kind of like, he's not comfortable doing this, I think. He's kind of widgeting.
To people.
So the reason I gave you a 5 is probably because of your age, because I feel like a lot of these guys have already grown into their style and grown into the type of person they want to be. 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're gonna be droopy as hell.
Probably, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He's already droopy. Okay, now for me, this dude, the best, the most attractive dude. Fucking being funny is way, way better than anything. The second is anime motherfucker. The third is this anime looking motherfucker. Fourth, I'll probably put him, man. I don't give a fuck that he is a little bit chubby. He looks like he's like confident and like fun. And those 2 motherfuckers can go for the last one. I don't care. They're kind of both in the same boat for me.
How you feel?
Well, I feel better now that I'm done. And I've explained myself as best I can in this very weird, surreal situation.
Do you feel like some of your own bias came through when doing this activity?
Yeah, I do. I do. You know, it's like I feel like I was honest, and this
Right, that's a stupid question. Do you have bias when you're ranking attractiveness? That's stupid. That's stupido. Is that it? Is that it? Should I watch more? Nah. Oh goddamn! I almost threw up. I almost threw up. Yeah, there is nothing here. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna end this motherfucking thing. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for being here and listening to this motherfucking shit. Yeah, today it was a mixture of both. We watched some videos. We also talked a little bit of about mental health shit. So yeah, it was fun. Thank you all for stopping by and chatting and listening to me. I hope we're gonna see each other really, really soon. And yeah, that will be it. Love you all, babies. Thank you all. If you are not subscribed, but followed, follow me. Go follow me. That's all I want, so I can make money and live like a fucking. I'm just kidding. Yeah, that's it. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for being here, and we're gonna see each other pretty soon. I don't know what's gonna be for the next stream, and I don't really care. We're gonna, yeah, I don't know. We're gonna watch something. We're gonna do something. Who knows, man? Thank you all for stopping by. See ya. Have a nice rest of the night. Bye.